course, what the Red Sox may not realize about Bobby Ojeda, his ERA when he is pitched with only 3 days rest, as he does tonight, is 0.00. For Bob Murphy, they may know he's never done that before, though.
Bobby Ojeda into the windup. The pitch to Wade Boggs, strike one call. Bobby Ojeda beat the Red Sox at Fenway Park last Tuesday night, pitching 7 superb innings. Boggs, the premier batter in baseball, waiting. And it's under the knees, 1 ball and 1 strike. In the World Series, Wade Boggs, 5 for 22, batting at .227. But you just keep waiting for him to break out. He batted .357 in the regular season. Now Bobby Ojeda will check it out with Gary Carter. The 1-1 delivery. Ground ball to third. Goes by Ray Knight. Bobbled by Santana. Wade Boggs is on at first. Knight made a dive for it. Could not pick it clean. Santana went in behind him, hoping for a play. And Raphael come up with the ball in behind Ray Knight. Maybe he would have had a chance to throw him out. It's hard to say. It'll be scored, a base hit. And Wade Boggs has opened the ball game with a base hit off Bobby Ojeda.
Ray Knight slowed that down as he dove for it. He just got the glove on it, drove it into the ground, and that caused it to take a strange hop on Santana, and he just couldn't play it.
Marty Barrett, the second baseman of the number 1 hitter in the World Series and in postseason play. 9 for 21, hitting .429 at the World Series. Let's have the infield at double play depth, not expecting a bunt. He turns this go to bunt, and a strike call to the inside corner. Keith Hernandez holding against Wade Boggs at first. Wally Backman at second, Rafael Santana at short, and Ray Knight is playing third. Mookie Wilson in left, Len Dykstra in center, Darryl Strawberry in right. Behind the plate, Gary Carter. The pitch by Ojeda, swung on, line to the air, Dykstra coming in, makes the catch. Hard line drive. Dykstra had great defensive position. Not playing too deep against Marty Barrett. He was able to come right straight in and pick it off.
Wonder tonight, well, since Robbie's working on only 3 days rest, whether he would do anything to change the game. Would be more concerned about throwing more strikes, trying to get them to hit the ball early, or not worry about that and just pitch his game.
Billy Buckner batting third of the order. 4 for 23, hitting only .174 so far in the World Series. But Billy Buckner, after 18 years, a .295 hitter in Major League Baseball. Left-hander against left-hander. Now we'll keep an eye on Wade Boggs, the runner on first. Renee Latchman is coaching at third for manager John McNamara. Walt Briniak, the hitting coach, on the lines at first base. Boy, the Shea Stadium crowd is really revved up. The pitch on the way is low outside, ball 1. And here comes somebody parachuting down into the ballpark. Somebody is parachuting, and they're going to land right behind the pitcher's mouth. And he'll go right into the policeman. That was not planned. That's an individual performance. A guy made a parachute jump, came down with a banner that said what, Gary? Let's go Mets?
It said, let's go Mets. Holy cow. I don't believe that.
Boy, oh boy, that's like those guys that jump off of the Empire State Building with a parachute. It's against the law. They do it anyhow. And he'll wind up with his picture in a lot of newspapers.
I wonder how they got the plane into this airspace, which you're not supposed to be in. That'll add a little zip to the game.
The players themselves are all laughing about it. Well, that's the first for World Series baseball. Guy parachuted. He made a spectacular jump. He came down almost on the mound. He came down between the mound and first base. Now Billy Buckner, the hitter. The pitch on the way, inside and high. 2 balls and no strikes. Not exactly the kind of thing that wouldn't rattle a pitcher a little bit. Not every day you look up and here comes a little guy in a parachute down on the mound.
Oh, what a landing. He got away, got around the blimp up there and came in right down in the infield.
My first reaction was he was 30 minutes late. But he should have been here to bring in the ball or something. 2-0 delivery. Outside, ball 3. Now Bobby Ojeda will have to think this carefully. He's behind on Billy Buckner 3-0, and Jim Rice is on deck. The one thing the Mets can ill afford with Clemens pitching here tonight is to let the Red Sox get the early lead. The pitch, strike call 3-1. Bobby Ojeda has to put the ball in play. Ojeda got New York's first World Series win when he beat the Red Sox in Oil Can Boyd last Tuesday night. He's behind on Buckner 3-1. One away, Wade Boggs is on first base. Infield to the outfield, around to right. Fouled behind third, 3-2. Now let's keep an eye on Boggs. Will John McNamara gamble and have him in motion? If he does so, he takes a chance on a strike-him-out throw about double play. Boggs with average speed. Jim Rice, the cleanup batter, is waiting on deck. That's playing deep in the outfield and around to right against Billy Buckner. Buckner, who's been hobbled throughout the series, wearing those high-top shoes to get him a little more protection. Bad ankles and an Achilles. Here's the stretch. The runner holding up, and a drive in the air to center field. Dykstra coming in. He'll be under it. Takes the catch. 2 men down. Fly ball to center, hit by Billy Buckner. Now there are 2 men away at the top of inning 1 at Shea Stadium. Game 6 of the World Series. If the Red Sox win, they'll be world champions. If the Mets win, Game 7 right here in Shea tomorrow night. Ron Darling will pitch against Royal Can Boys. Now Jim Wright. 7 for 18. Batting .389 in the World Series. Lifetime 300 hitter. Low outside, 1 ball and no strike. Red Sox have 2 real veteran outfielders, both excellent power hitters. Jim Rice and Dwight Evans. The 1-0 delivery, foul ball off the end of the bat, back into the press level. 1 ball, 1 strike to Jim Rice. Rice had an outstanding season for the Red Sox. Batted .324, 20 home runs and 110 runs batted in. Let's play him as a pull hitter. The infield deep and around toward left. Inside high. Rice will lay off with the count 2 balls and 1 strike. The plate umpire tonight is Dale Ford of the American League. John Kibler, the senior umpire in the series, at first base. Swing and a miss. Beautiful change up by Bobby Ojeda. He turned it over, low and away, even count 2-2. Second base umpire is Jim Evans of the American League. Barry Wendelstedt of the National League at third. Ed Montague and Joe Brinkman on the foul line. 2-2 delivery. High foul, wafted out of play down the right field line. About holding a 2-2 on Jim Rice. Very little breeze. Game time temperature 53 degrees. Weather forecast all right for the game tonight. If we have a 7th game tomorrow night, the weather forecast is not all that good. They say we may have rain when you get up tomorrow morning. 2-2 delivery. Oh, just missed inside. 3-2. He tried to get him with a fastball, runner high on the inside corner. Now this time Boggs will be running. Boggs, who reached on infield, hit on first base, 2 men down. He'll be running on 3-2. There he goes. Low, ball 4. Rice reaching on a walk. It brings up Dwight Evans.
That's a tough one. Bobby had him set up for that fastball on that ball 3 and just missed. Rice was stepping into it. Had he hit the corner or had he swung at it, he wouldn't have gotten anything on it, and then never would have probably been able to catch him up with that pitch.
Came awfully close to a perfect pitch on that. I think Rice had no choice but to take it, and it just missed the corner. Now Dwight Evans, the right fielder, 5 for 18, batting .278 in the World Series. Evans hit .259 during the year, 26 homers and 97 runs batted in. Red Sox are threatening, top of inning 1, Game 6 at Shea Stadium. Infield, a step to left and deep. Strike call at the knee. Bobby Ojeda relies on guile. Pitching know-how, off-speed deliveries. The name of his game is to keep the hitter off stride. Keep him guessing on what will be coming up. And the pitch on the way. Low outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. The catcher, Rich Getman, is the on-deck hitter for Boston. Red Sox leading 3 games to 2. It has been 67 years since Boston won a World Series. Fly ball, well hit to left center field, way back. It may go. It's off the wall in left center. Rounding third, scoring Boggs. Rounding third and holding Jim Rice. 1-0 Boston. Long double by Dwight Evans. It banged off the wall in distant left center field. Dykstra playing to Caramwell, getting it back to the infield. Only 1 run scored. Back
came that close to being out of here. That ball was really tagged right off the face of the wall on one hop. And Evans, who has in this series been to the plate with an incredible number of people up, was not driving people in first 3 ball games. But he's starting to pick up his RBIs now as he has 5 to lead the Red Sox.
Such a dangerous moment in the ball game now for left-hander Bobby Ojeda. There are 2 in scoring position at second and third. Yetman is the hitter. And a high fly hit the right center, playable. Strawberry moving over. He's under it waiting. Makes the catch, and the inning is over. So Ojeda will leave 2 stranded in scoring position. 1 run on 2 hits and 2 left. Middle of inning 1 at Shea, Boston 1. The left side coming to bat. So far in the World Series, the team that scored first has gone on to win. If the Mets are going to keep the series alive, they'll have to destroy that tradition. They'll have Len Dykstra leading off against Roger Clemens. The former Texas Longhorn All-America, such a hard thrower. 24-4 during the regular season. He began the year by winning his first 14. His road record, phenomenal, away from Fenway Park, on the road. Clemens won 13 and lost only 1. His other assignment against the New York Mets, the Sunday game here at Shea, he left the game in the 5th inning with his team out in front. Red Sox went on to win 9-3. It was a no-decision game for Roger Clemens. Now, Woody Dykstra will lead off. They said of Roger Clemens he had worked too much in the American League Championship Series. He made 3 starts. Won 1 and lost 1. He also was bothered by the flu. So John McNamara gambled and used Al Nipper in Game 4 to have the rest of his starting pitchers well rested. It paid off last night when Bruce Hurst was the winning pitcher in Game 5. Now Clemens has 5 days of rest as he takes the mound for this start. The windup by Clemens, swing and a miss, strike 1. Incidentally, this year when he had 5 days rest, he won 8 and he lost absolutely none. Dykstra has been the leading hitter for the Mets in postseason play. 7 for 21 in the World Series. Mets are trailing 1-0. The pitcher on the way, up high. 1 ball and 1 strike. One thing they have to do, Gary, they can't help him out. They've got to be able to lay off of that high hardwood.
Yeah, and I still continue to wonder why, with Buckner at first base, the Mets have not bunted a little more to make Buckner move, which he can't do.
He's playing very deep at first base. There's a bunt attempt, but he tried to push the bunt up the third base line. And Boggs was playing it on the grass. In the Houston series, Glenn Davis, the Astro first baseman, played in the entire series against Backman and against Dykstra. Now 1 ball and 2 strikes on Len Dykstra. Roger Clemens winds the big right-hander's pitch. Too high, 2 balls and 2 strikes. In the American League Championship Series, he lost the first game to California. Had a no decision in the middle and won the 7th and decisive ball game. His 2-2 delivery, strike 3 called. It caught the outside corner. Dykstra has been called out. Remember that Roger Clemens, very early in the year, struck out 20 Seattle Mariners for an all-time Major League record.
That was one of those games where he had more than 5 days rest. He had 6 days rest for that one.
A power pitcher usually requires more rest than a breaking ball or off-speed type pitcher. Tom Seaver used to say that he felt he absolutely had to have the 4 full days because he was pitching with power in those days. Wally Backman fouls it back on the screen, strike 1. So we have a well-rested Roger Clemens trying to nail it down for the Boston Red Sox. Since 1918, the last time they won, they've been in 3 World Series. All 3 went to 7 games. They lost all 3. Strike call to Wally Backman. Wally in the series hitting at .385 on 5 for 13. Keith Hernandez, the on-deck batter. Red Sox in front, 1-0. They got a run in the opening inning. White Evans with a long double to left center drove in Wade Boggs. So it's 1-0 Boston. Pitched by Clemens, fouled down the left field line and over into the crowd. At a 2-strike count. Billy Buckner playing first, Marty Barrett at second. Mike Owen is short, and Wade Boggs is third. Jim Rice playing near the left field line against Wally Backman. Dave Henderson is the center fielder. He's over to left center. Around and right, Dwight Evans. The catcher is Rich Gutman. Now Clemens with a two-strike advantage. Fouled again down the left field line. No play. For New York, Buddy Harrelson on the coaching lines at third. Bill Robinson, the hitting coach, on the lines at first. And Wally must have broken a bat, fouling that pitch away. He'll come back and get another. Wally hitting second in the order. The last time here at Shea that Clemens started against the Mets, manager Davy Johnson wanted more left-handed batting. He had Danny Heath in left field and Howard Johnson at third. He's not doing that here tonight. Mookie Wilson is in left field. Of course, Mookie is a switch hitter. But Ray Knight is playing third, so Davy will try it the other way this time. Actually, Clemens had a tiny bit more trouble against right-hand hitters than left. He had very little trouble with anybody during the year. He won 24, lost only 4. The pitch. Breaking ball, strike 3 call. He came in with a good curveball. He set it up beautifully, and he has fanned the first 2 batters.
Wally just stood there and died on that one. There wasn't any question about it. He was totally fooled. Wally was waiting for the fastball, and all he could do was watch that breaking ball settle in over the inside corner. It was right there, and he knew it was a strike.
Roger Clemens starting out throwing nothing but strikes here tonight. 2 outs and nobody on. Now Keith Hernandez. He's 4 for 18 in the World Series, batting at .222 and batting .250 in postseason play. Clemens over the head. Around comes the arm. Inside high. 1 ball and no strike. Roger Clemens, like Sid Fernandez, is a fly ball out pitcher. He has a great fastball that has a good hop on it. He doesn't rely on ground balls to bail him out of tough spots. He'll either strike out a hitter or he'll pop him up. The 1-0 delivery, swing and a foul back toward the crowd. 1-1 on Keith Hernandez. Red Sox have not won in a World Series since the days of Babe Ruth. They've gone 67 years without a World Series championship. They have a chance to get one here tonight. They won in 46, but lost the World Series. 1-1 delivery, high and away, 2-1. They won in 67, but lost the World Series. And they won in 75, but again lost the World Series. Losing 2 to the Cardinals and 1 to Cincinnati. Hernandez stepping back for a moment, a count of 2-1. During the year, Clemens served up 21 home runs. That is not very many for the innings he worked. Swing and a miss, 2-2. Down even at 2-2 on Keith Hernandez. This giant crowd very, very quiet at the moment. Red Sox have jumped off quickly. They lead 1-0, and Clemens has mowed down the first 2 batters. Now the pitch. High fly ball hit the left center. Henderson going back, calling for it in the alley in left center, makes the catch, and the inning is over. Mets are out in order in inning 1. At the end of 1 inning at Shea, Red Sox 1 and the Mets nothing. Dave Henderson, the center fielder in the Super World Series, will be up against Bobby Ojeda, top of the 2nd. Henderson 8 hits and 18 times at bat, batting .444 in the World Series. Marty Barrett has been the real headliner, but were it not for Dave Henderson, the Red Sox would not be here. Thus would be playing the California Angels. He hit the dramatic home run, but the Red Sox were 1 strike from elimination. The windup by Ojeda and the pitch on the way, off the outside corner, ball 1. That's with the infield up a step. The outfield is straight away. Gary Carter sends the sign out for the next delivery. Low and outside, a change out of the strike zone. 2 balls and no strikes. Bobby Ojeda starting on only 3 days rest. He was the winning pitcher Tuesday night at Fenway Park. And he goes behind on Henderson 3-0. He gave up a walk to Jim Rice in the opening inning. Boggs reached on an infield hit. A walk to Rice moved him over to second. A long double by Dwight Evans brought a run in. Strike call, it's 3-1. Uneasy moments here for the New York Mets, who could ill afford to let the Red Sox, with their ace Clemens on the mound, pull out to any kind of a lead. Now Ojeda delivers 3-1. High fly, hit deep to left, going back Mookie on the warning track, has room, makes the catch. Bobby Ojeda, a ground ball out pitcher. So far, Gary, every out recorded has been on a fly ball.
That's an indication that working on the 3 days rest may be a bit of a problem. He may not be able to get as much movement on the ball. But some people think, well, you got a pitcher who throws a lot of the off-speed stuff. Why would his arm need the rest? You figure all that turnover stuff he does. Just take your hand and point it to the outside in a pitcher's motion and bring it down and feel the torque on your elbow, and you know why he needs rest.
One out and nobody on, and you can bet Bobby Ojeda is worried about those fly balls. Spike Orr, the batter, switch hitting shortstop. For some reason, he's drawn 7 walks in this series. Remember, those walks come in Boston in front of Wade Boggs, not here at Shea, where they do not use the designated hitter, and the pitcher has to come to bat. But at Fenway Park, every time he drew a walk, it brought Wade Boggs to the plate. Now Ojeda into his motion. The pitch, strike call of the inside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike. All 3 outs of the first inning were on fly balls. Henderson has flied out to deep left here in the second, and Ojeda likes to have him hit it on the ground. So the ball is not doing the things he wants it to do at the moment. Here's the 1-1 delivery. Ground ball through the legs of Bobby Ojeda. Base hit going into center field. Well, you talk about the ground ball. He gets the ground ball, and it's a base hit. Went right through the wickets on Bobby Ojeda.
They're hitting the ball hard on Bobby, which they usually do not do. When he has that good off-speed pitch working on the outside part of the plate, you'll see a lot of soft ground balls. The ball's staying up, and that one was in the middle.
A little bit like the 6th game in the Astrodome. Bobby Ojeda started that game and was hit awfully hard the first 3 innings. Managed to survive and then settled in and pitched a couple of real good innings. That was the 16-inning ball game, finally won by New York 7-6. Now the hitter is Roger Clemens. Keith Hernandez and Ray Knight are already moving in to play for the bunt. He squares the bunt, a strike call. Roger Clemens, who did not know what hitting was all about during the regular season, the pitchers don't come to bat in the American League, is up now in a bunt situation. Now Clemens, after looking down to Rene Latchman, the coach at third gets back into the batter's box. He had a funny quote after the game last Sunday, said he felt more comfortable hitting than he did pitching. Go to first, not in time. He has complained about the pitching mound. That's one thing we didn't hear during the regular season at all. We didn't hear opposing teams complain about the mound. Pitch on the way, swung on, and foul tip. Oh, they took the bunt play off, had him swing away. I guess McNamara figures he's got as good a chance of hitting it as he does of bunting it.
You would think Roger Clemens would not have a complaint here because this mound is for a good fastball pitcher like Dwight Gooden and like Roger Clemens, but he's not particularly enamored by it.
Yeah, the mound here and the mound of the Astrodome are probably the 2 best mounds for a power pitcher in the National League. He turns to bunt, foul ball, strike 3. So Clemens trying to bunt is out on strike. 2 men down. Hey, how would you like to win a trip to the New York Mets spring training camp in 1987? Tune in to W1050 next week and find out how you can join WHN at the Mets spring training camp. That'll be the first strikeout for Bobby Ojeda. To the plate for the second time, the leadoff batter, Wade Boggs. He now has 6 for 23 in the World Series. He had an infield hit on a sharply hit ground ball to the left of Ray Knight his first time up. Breaking ball outside, it's ball 1. 1-0 Red Sox lead. Top of the second inning at Shea Stadium. Bobby Ojeda will check the runner at first. Fouled back into the crowd. That's out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike. If we go to a 7th game tomorrow night, Ron Darling, who has pitched brilliantly in the World Series, will be on the mound for New York. His mound opponent would be Oil Can Boyd. For there to be a game tomorrow night, the Mets have to win tonight. There goes the runner. Ground ball, base hit, going into right center. Holding around second on his way to third. Strawberry playing the ball back in. Holding at third, Spike Orr on a hit and run play. A perfect base hit to right center by Wade Boggs. Well, you knew Boggs was going to get his hitting game going. It looks like he's picked tonight to do it.
That's the way Boggs, the Red Sox, come to know and love. That was perfectly placed with Backman moving over to cover the bag. Almost hit the base runner with it. Had him just go by him as the base runner, Owen, wasn't even looking at home plate, appropriately so. Didn't even realize the ball was almost on him till it went by.
Second inning in a row now that Bobby Ojeda comes up to a big two-out situation. Now the hitter is Marty Barrett, who has 20 hits in postseason play. First and third and 2 down. At the knees, strike one call. Mike Owen on third. Wade Boggs on first. There are 2 men away. Red Sox already have 4 base hits. They got 2 in the first. They have 2 more here in the second. So Bobby Ojeda is groping for it right now. They have the infield straight away. Dykstra playing a couple of strides to right center against Marty Barrett. Too high. 1 ball and 1 strike to the right-hand hitter. 9 for 22 in the World Series. He has more hits than any other Red Sox player. He set a new all-time record for most postseason hits. He already has 20. He has been like Mandrake the Magician with his bat. The pitch on the way, fouled down the right field line, back into the crowd. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Marty Barrett. Marty Barrett hitting almost 400 in postseason play. That's 7 games of the playoffs. Now game 6 in the World Series. Sellout crowd at Shea now, realizing they have an uneasy moment on their hands, and they're squirming around. Ojeda looking in to Gary Carter. Now the stretch by Bobby. The pitch. Line drive into left. Mookie Wilson will have to take it on a hop. Base hit. Mike Owen will score. The Red Sox are in front 2-0. They have gone 5 hits. And Marty Barrett has his 10th World Series hit. 21 in postseason play. The Red Sox are in front 2-0.
MVP candidate. No matter what happens in this game, Marty Barrett has had a spectacular postseason, hitting .392 coming into this game in postseason play.
We'll get some warm-up action now in the New York Mets bullpen.
Rick Aguilar is up.
Aguilar will try to get ready in a hurry. Gary Carter stalling for some time as he goes to the mound to talk to Bobby Ojeda. 2 men away, Billy Buckner, the number 3 batter, will be coming up. Mets can be easily intimidated if the Red Sox jump out to a 3 or 4 run lead. With Roger Clemens, their ace, on the mound. There is no tomorrow for the Mets. They have to win this game or their baseball season, which has been a beautiful year, will be over. You realize the Mets have already won 114 ball games, but they need to win 116 to be world champions. Left-hander against left-hander. Drive hit deep to right. Strawberry going back, looking up, makes the catch. Oh, good play by Strawberry, racing to the warning track, reaching high over his head and stabbing the line drive. It was a vicious drive hit by Billy Buckner, and the Mets are lucky to go out of the inning without a bigger Red Sox lead. 1 run, 3 hits, 2 left on. At the end of an inning and a half, Boston 2 and New York nothing. Gary Carter will lead off for New York against Roger Clemens. The Clemens started against New York last Sunday. The Mets were able to get runs off of him. He was not the well-rested Roger Clemens, though. He's been hit by the flu, and he was on short rest. Tonight he's healthy and has 5 days of rest. Fastball inside high, it's ball 1. Gary Carter, 7 for 21 in the World Series, and 7 runs batted in. The windup by the big right-hander, the pitch on the way. Breaking ball strike on the outside corner. Rick Aguilar continuing to throw. Now he's going to stop throwing in the bullpen. Apparently he's thrown enough to where he's practically ready if needed. 1-1 on Gary Carter. Fouled upstairs and out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Roger Clemens won 24 and lost only 4. Being in a championship game, not new to him. With the University of Texas, he pitched the game that won the NCAA championship for the Longhorns. Now the 1-2 delivery, foul back. After he signed and went to New Britain, he pitched the game that won the championship of the Eastern League. Remember, he pitched Game 7 as the Red Sox down 3 games to 1. came back to beat California and advanced to the World Series. So he has been in tough games before. 1-2 delivery, fouled back into the crowd, no play. He jammed Gary Carter with that. He's primarily a fastball pitcher. 94, 95, even 96 miles per hour. He does have a good curveball, as we've already seen in the ball game tonight. Waiting on a 1-2 delivery. Curveball wide, 2 balls and 2 strikes. He's mixing those pitches a little bit.
So well, and he had Gary Carter off stride on that. If it had been in the strike zone, Gary would have been hard-pressed to foul that ball off. Throw a good curveball when you throw as hard as he does. You got it going.
Now the 2-2 delivery. Oh, just missed outside. Full count, 3-2. Red Sox 2 and the Mets nothing. Last of inning 2 here at Shea Stadium. A must game for the Mets. Not for the Red Sox. Pitching 3-2. Popped up foul. It'll be out of play back into the crowd. Hit that again off the end of the bat. Darryl Strawberry is waiting on deck. Hitting coach Bill Robinson feels the Mets can get 2 runs or Clemens. He believes his hitters are good fastball hitters, and that they will be able to get some runs. 3-2 delivery. High pop-up outside third, a foul ball. Getman going over to the Red Sox dugout, no play. It lands right on the roof of the dugout. Getman had plenty of time to go over there, but fortunately for Gary Carter, it was just foul. And we pause for station identification on the New York Mets Baseball Network.
This is Sheila York, and you're listening to the World Series on Sports Radio 1050 WHN, New York's country music station.
Bob Murphy with Gary Thorne. Hope you're enjoying our coverage of the World Series on WHN. 3-2 delivery. The drive in the air, hit well to center. Henderson going back. He'll get under it. Makes the catch in deep center field. Carter really got a hold of that one. But Dave Henderson retreated to the warning track straight away, and he made the grab. Best contact made so far.
Best contact, long fly ball. But as you mentioned earlier, that's the kind of game Clemens won't mind pitching. He'll give those up so long as they're in the ballpark.
It'll be awfully hard to pull. He throws so hard, it's hard to have a bat fast enough to pull the ball. If that ball, for example, had been pulled, it probably would have gone into the bullpen. Darryl Strawberry, the hitter. High and away, 1 ball and no strikes. Strawberry has a very fast bat. He can get around on most fastball pitchers. He has more trouble with the breaking ball. Now the 1-0 delivery. Inside, that just missed. 2 balls and no strikes. Boston already 2 runs on 5 hits. New York, no runs, no hits. We're in the bottom half of the second. Game 6 of the 86 World Series. Beautiful fall night, late in October. 2-0 delivery. Fouled it back into the crowd, no play. It's 2-1. We've actually been very fortunate. We had one fairly chilly night. But for this late in October, in this part of the country, the nights have been almost balmy. If you call 53 balmy. 2-1 delivery, swing and a foul ball back, and it's 2-2. Roger Clemens just came out of nowhere. He was a great college pitcher. Everybody said he would be very successful in the big leagues. Came to the Red Sox, got off to a 9-4 start, then came a shoulder problem. 2-2 delivery, high and away, ball 3. He had his shoulder operated on and came back from shoulder surgery to win 24 and lose only 4 with a 2.48 ERA. Now he's 3-2 on Strawberry. Fouled out of play. Count holding 3-2. 1 out and nobody on. Mets have not had a base runner. Carter hit the ball hard, but it was playable for Dave Henderson, the center fielder, who, by the way, has played a very good center field. He got his chance to play when Tony Armas was hurt in the California series. High pop foul, might be playable. Boggs moving over, no play. That'll drop into the crowd. And it's a Roger Clemens type game so far. 1 foul ball after another as the hitters try to catch up with that heat.
And he has that great ability to keep that pitch where he wants it, inside, outside. He, like all good pitchers, he'll move the ball around the plate, inside and out. He jammed Strawberry on that one. He jammed Carter in his time at bat. He's not going to hit much off the handle on this guy. He's put the bat in 2 on you.
3-2 on Darryl Strawberry. Payoff delivery. Foul back. And Strawberry fighting that heat thrown by Roger Clemens. This crowd is really high for the ball game tonight. Pre-game introductions when the Met players were introduced. The noise is just filling up to the sky. The pitch. High foul pop, no play. Another foul ball back into the crowd. And this duel goes on. A well-rested Roger Clemens trying to give the Red Sox their first World Series championship in 67 years. They haven't won one since 1918. They've been in 3 since, all 3 won 7 games, and they lost all 3. Now Strawberry will step back for a moment. Ray Knight is the on-deck batter. You can imagine what it would be like in Boston if they win here tonight. Payoff delivery, inside ball 4. Strawberry is on with a walk. Now the Mets have their first base runner, and Ray Knight will come up. The People Express team of airlines, with their low prices and frequent service from Newark and Farmingdale to over 140 cities, they cover all the bases. Ray Knight did not start against Roger Clemens last Sunday here at Shea Stadium. Ray in the World Series, 4 for 15, batting .237 after hitting .298 during the regular year, finishing 8th in the National League in batting. Darryl Strawberry on first. Billy Buckner now will hold against Strawberry, and the right-handed hitting Ray Knight is the batter. The pitch by Clemens. Breaking ball outside, 1 ball and no strike. He wanted to show Ray Knight the curveball is starting him off. Ray looking down to Buddy Harrelson on the coaching lines at third. Boston with a 2-0 lead. That's batting in the bottom half of the second inning. Clemens, a bear of a man, strong as he can be. Comes for the 1-second stop, delivers. Curveball strike on the outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Game 5, the bleacherites in Boston got on Darryl Strawberry at the end of the game with that chant, Darryl, Darryl. And tonight, the stadium has decided it's going to be Clemens, I guess. They've got the Roger, Roger chant going.
I thought Strawberry handled it awfully well in Boston. He doffed his cap to it.
Yeah.
Now you can hear the Rogers chant in the background. 1-1 on Ray Knight. Strawberry with a short lead. The pitch up high. 2 balls and 1 strike to Ray Knight. I want to tell you, he reached back. That baseball was traveling to home plate about 95 or 96 miles per hour. Ray Knight taking his time getting out after every pitch. Noise level tonight at Shea Stadium will be the highest of the entire year. Billy Buckner holds against the runner. And Roger Clemens with a count of 2-1 on Ray Knight. Here's the pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. 2 balls and 2 strikes. It's awfully hard to lay off on that high hard one, but it's twice as hard to catch up with and hit. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Following Dwight Gooden all year in the National League, they really started laying off on that high hard one when the doctor would throw it. They might do the same with Clemens next year. Now 2-2 on Ray Knight. And the pitch on the way. The runner goes. Swing and a miss. Throw to second. And he's safe. Stolen base. Darryl Strawberry has now stolen 6 out of 8 against Gedman, who had thrown out 50% during the regular year. So Davy Johnson took a gamble that time, trying to make something happen. He had Strawberry running. Knight struck out on a high hardwood, and Strawberry beat the throw from Gedman.
Had a real good jump that time, and Ray helped out the batter Ray Knight after he struck out swinging without interfering. Came as close as he could to home plate to force Gedman to really get the ball over the head.
Mets would love to pick up this runner on second base. The hitter will be Mookie Wilson. Mookie 5 for 18 in the World Series, batting only 182 in postseason play. Mookie will hit left-handed against Roger Clemens. So Strawberry is on second. There are 2 men down. That's trailing 2-0. Fastball outside, 1 ball and no strike. Mookie might very well try to go to left field against Roger Clemens. And Jim Rice is thinking that way. He's playing him not too far away from that left field line. The center fielder, Dave Henderson, is straight away. Strawberry, who runs very, very well. Good lead off second base. Swing and a miss. Fastball, that looked like it was down the middle. 1 ball and 1 strike to Mookie Wilson. Boston 2 runs on 5 hits. That's no runs on no hits. They need a 2-out single now to get a run home. The pitch fouled back into the crowd. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Looks like Clemens, once he has a runner in scoring position, forgets about the curveball and just goes with the express. Such a hard-throwing right-hander, and he has good command of that fastball. He puts that fastball in good location. Now Clemens appearing in to Gedman his backstop. Mookie is waiting. The pitch on the way. Strike 3. Fastball from the outside corner, and Clemens now has spanned 4 in the first 2 innings. No runs, no hits, a runner left. At the end of 2, Boston 2 and New York nothing. Game 6 of the World Series now goes to the 3rd inning, and we go to Gary Thorne.
New York Mets trailing 2-0. Bobby Ojeda ready to go against Jim Rice. Rice hits the ball foul outside of first base, strike 1. Rice drew a walk his first time up. Ojeda has walked 1 and struck out 1. And Bobby knows he cannot give up any more runs in this game the way his mound opponent, Clemens, is pitching tonight. Left-handers wind up 0-1 delivery. Is swung on again, hit foul down the right field line. And Bobby Ojeda's ahead on the count here. 2 strikes. Ojeda in 3 games in postseason, 2-0 and a 2.14 earned run average. He has been spectacular for New York, along with Ron Darling in postseason play. Just outstanding performances. 0-2 deliveries high, and the count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Finished second in the National League in earned run average, 2.57 for Ojeda. 1-2 deliveries, a breaking ball, strike 3 call. Rice frozen by that one, off-speed pitch. Called out on strikes. Second strikeout for Ojeda, 1 down here in the 3rd inning. Despite the fact we have talked about the New York Mets and how many Mets have struck out coming into this game, the Red Sox had more strikeouts. Their batters had gone down 39 times to the Mets 31. Clemens, you pile those numbers up the other way, he has already struck out 4 Mets in this ball game. Evans coming up. Evans had a big double off Ojeda in the first inning to the base of the wall in left center field, driving in a run. He and Barrett have the RBIs. Pitch to him is fouled back for a strike. Dwight Evans this season hit .228 against left-handers, 6 home runs, and 23 runs batted in against the lefties. The right-handed batter overall hit .259. 1 strike on him. Ojeda's delivery. Breaking ball missing down low. 1 ball and 1 strike. A real good contact hitter. He and Wade Boggs finishing 1 and 2 in the American League in walks. 97 picked up by Dwight Evans. Coach Gedman is on deck. 1-1 delivery. Fastball missing inside, and Ojeda falls behind. 2 balls and 1 strike. Bobby with a side from Gary Carter. The 2-1 pitch swung on and hit in the air to right field. Strawberry drifting over towards center on the fly ball. Plenty of time. Reaches up and grabs it. 2 down. Rich Gedman, the catcher, flying out to right field his first time up. Gedman 4 for 22 in the World Series, but he's batting .286 in postseason play for Boston.
Very unusual game we're watching, Gary. Bobby Ojeda still does not have a ground ball out.
You know, that ball's not moving for him the way it normally does, that being the case. The delivery is a check swing, could not hold up in time. A strike on Gedman. Gedman in postseason play has 6 runs batted in. Here in the World Series, Gedman has had his trouble at the plate, hitting only .190. He has struck out 8 times. 21 times up. Swung on and missed. Dead fish pitch to a left-handed batter, and he was way out in front of it. And Bobby Ojeda's ahead on the count. 2 strikes. The Red Sox have their luggage packed and in their rooms at their hotel. They did not take it out of their rooms. They just left it packed in a corner. 2-strike pitch. Check swing, ground ball, foul outside of third base. Count remains at 2 strikes. Did not want to bring any bad luck onto themselves, nor be without a room if there was a need to stay. If they should win this game, they will go back to Boston following their celebration here tonight. Ojeda ready. 2-strike delivery. Swing on him. There's got him on that breaking ball outside. Ojeda, 1-2-3 inning. First he's had, taking up 2 strikeouts. We go to the bottom of the third. Red Sox lead 2-0. Red Sox will try and get it going with Santana, Ojeda, and Lenny Dykstra coming up against Clemens. Mets do not have a hit. Red Sox 2 runs on 5 hits. Only 1 base runner for the Mets. Darryl Strawberry's walk in the second inning. American League with the Red Sox are trying to win their 4th consecutive World Series. This would be the most consecutive series victory for the American League. Back in 47 through 53. Clemens ready. Pitch to Santana as a fastball. That's a strike called after Leonard. How tough is it to repeat? 9th year that a ball club will win it that did not win it the year before. 9th straight season. The delivery, swung on, foul back. Santana's down on the count, 2 strikes. Roger Clemens, 4 strikeouts and 1 walk. Raffy's 4 for 16 in World Series play, hitting .212 in postseason. Pitch to the right-handed batter is outside of the breaking ball, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Santana with Ojeda waiting in the on-deck circle. Outfield playing way around to right field. They figure Santana will not get around on Roger Clemens. Center fielder Henderson is in and over towards that gap in right. The right-hander rocks and fires. Fastball just missed the outside corner and a little low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Raffy got off to a hot start against Houston, picking up some singles when nobody else was hitting. Has not been able to maintain that. 2-2 delivery to him. Swung on, popped up first base. Buckner coming over, Gedman the catcher near the Mets dugout, no play. Back into the stands, and the count will remain at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Designated hitter rule this year, of course, that it was used in the American League parks and not in the National, so no DHs in the lineup tonight, taking out Don Baylor for the Boston Red Sox, but to this point, people who are in there have done the job, collecting 5 hits off Ojeda and a couple of runs. Santana, 2-2 count. Clemens ready, and the delivery swung on and fouled off, way behind on the fastball that time. Almost hit it right out of the mitt of Gedman. Count remains at 2-2. Clemens ready, 2-2 again, swung on, fouled off again down the right field line. For the benefit, obviously, of the New York Mets, the more pitches you can make Roger Clemens throw, the better chances you have of getting to him later on. They have fouled off a lot of pitches here in the first 2+ innings of this ball game. With all the rest he's had, he just keeps throwing the mustard ball. 2-2, swung on and missed. Breaking ball had Santana. Fooled him on that one. Strikeout number 5. During the season, he picked up 238 strikeouts in 254 innings. Postseason play, Clemens has 20 strikeouts in 27 innings coming into the game. He's up that now to 25 in 29 innings. Swung on a miss, Bobby Ojeda. 1 down, nobody on, 2-0 Red Sox lead. Ojeda, left-handed batter. 0-1 pitch. Solid fastball right there. And he goes ahead, 2 strikes. Clemens struck out 2 in the first, 2 in the second. Has 1 here already in the third. 2-strike pitch, outside, high fastball, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Lenny Dykstra on deck. Mets have had only 1 base runner, Strawberry, who reached on the walk and then stole second. and was stranded there. 1-2 delivery. Swung on and missed. Down another one. 6 strikeouts, 2 each inning. Now Lenny Dykstra coming to the plate. Lenny was called out on strikes his first time up.
Makes you wonder how many he's going to get before this ball game is over.
He's just rearing back, letting it come.
Boy, he was right about needing that extra rest. They gave it to him, and look what he's doing.
He's ready to roll. Lenny Dykstra, 318 in postseason play. He's in the best of the Met hitters. Pitch is a strike called. Say, if you're looking for a hit, try an Arby's roast beef and cheddar sandwich. America's favorite roast beef topped with hot cheddar cheese sauce. Arby's, an official sponsor of Major League Baseball. 0-1 delivery, swung on and fouled off down the left field line. Neither right nor left-handed batters are getting around on that fastball right now. And Dykstra's down on the count here. 2 strikes. Made a little difference during the season whether it was a right or left-handed batter. Left-handers hitting him at a 198 average. Right-handers, 206. That means nobody's doing much. 0-2 delivery. Breaking ball outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Lenny Dykstra for the Mets in postseason play has picked up 7 hits in the World Series. The most for the Mets, along with Gary Carter in World Series play. 1-2 delivery. Fastball again, missing up high. And the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Barrett, of course, leads both ball clubs in hits collected. Barrett has delivered a single in this one for his 10th World Series hit. 2-2 count. 2 down, nobody on. Clemens delivers, swung on, short hop to short, played by Owen. Over to first, and they'll get Lenny Dykstra. And another 1-2-3 inning. We've completed 3 at Shea Stadium. Red Sox lead the Mets 2-0. Center fielder Dave Henderson leading it off. Bottom third of the order with Henderson, Owen, and Clemens coming up against Ojeda. 2 runs, 5 hits for Boston, and 0s on the board for the New York Mets. Top of the 4th inning. Pressure-packed ball game, must win for New York. Pitch is up high, ball 1. Boston Red Sox trying to take it home. The victory here tonight, Mets trying to prolong it to Game 7. 1-0 delivery. And pitch catches the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike on Henderson. Henderson just had a great postseason. Flied out to left his first time up here, but he's 8 for 19 with a home run in the World Series play. Swung on and missed. Good on-speed pitch, 1-2. He's hitting .333 in all of the postseason play the Red Sox have been involved in. He has scored second most runs. Rice has scored 5. He's scored 4. He's picked up the second most hits behind Barrett with 8. Had 4 RBIs, tying Evans for the most in the World Series. So here's a guy who's going to get some MVP consideration, Dave Henderson. 1-2 delivery, swung on and chopped foul outside of third. Henderson never dreaming that he would end up number 1 in Boston and number 2 playing in the World Series. Coming over with Spike Owen in that deal with Seattle. And now suddenly finds himself part of a very big moment in a Red Sox uniform, and as though he's going to have a lot more of them the way he's been playing. 1-2 pitch in the dirt, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
That late season trade engineered by Lou Gorman, the Red Sox general manager, has been a very positive trade for Boston.
Gorman said he was after him all season. They wanted Henderson, and when he got into a squabble with Dick Williams, his manager in Seattle, and Williams set him down, Red Sox just kept picking up the phone. Finally got him. 2-2. Swung on, blistering path, falling into center field. Dykstra coming, makes the catch. That just blew up on him, went in about 5 different directions. Ball hit up in the air. Dykstra had plenty of time to come in on the run and make the catch on it, and they'll pick the pieces of the bat up. That thing exploded on contact.
It's very interesting. You talk to any of the equipment managers of the major leagues this year, they'll all tell you the same thing. They've never had a year in which there were so many broken bats.
I saw the bat company said even at the prior of this season, a couple of the companies said that getting that ash is no longer easy. That good wood is not readily available anymore. They tried to stock up on it, but it's getting more difficult. 1 down, nobody on. Spike Owen. Line shot into left field base hit. He hit it hard, hopped on the dirt and out into left, and he's on again. 2 for 2. Owen has had a couple of singles now. That's going to be 5 hits for him. He's 5 for 15, so he's batting .333 in the World Series and .353 plus.
Seems like every year in the World Series, an unheralded line drive type hitter jumps up and gets a basket full of base hits. This year it's been Marty Barrett, and Spike Owen is, in addition to his hits, has drawn 7 walks.
Owen getting on base. He's had a .421 on base percentage here in the World Series. 1 down, runner at first base looking for the bunt with Clemens up. Ray Knight's already in. Ojeda throws over. Clemens, his last time up, struck out trying to bunt on a 3rd strike. He tried to lay down the 1st strike and missed it, then swung and fouled the pitch off, and then tried to bunt again in his first time at bat. 2-0 Red Sox lead, top of the 4th inning here at Shea. Ojeda ready. Again, we'll throw over to Keith Hernandez. Hernandez cheating down the line a couple of steps, trying to hold Owen as close as he can. Owen, the best base runner as far as stolen bases are concerned that the Red Sox had this season with 15, a non-running ball club. Squares the bunt, popped it up, behind home plate, Carter over, he's got it. Down the first baseline, Gary Carter. Once he found it, had plenty of time to make the catch, so Clemens retired, unable to get the sacrifice down, 2 down. Owen remains at first base. Wade Boggs, he has 2 singles in the game, steps in. Boggs getting his game going, 7 hits and 24 times up in the series. Batting over .240 now in postseason play. Bobby Ojeda with 2 down and a runner on at first now, trying to get out of this one and leaving Owen on at first base. Hernandez will back up and play the bag. Owen with a pretty good lead over there. A delivery, swung on and fouled off behind home plate, strike 1. Wade Boggs hit .352 against left-handers, .357 overall. Spectacular on-base percentage of .453. Best in baseball, including 105 walks. A delivery, swung on a chopper over Ojeda's head. Santana will cut it off and go to first to get the out. Good play by Rafael Santana. That'll retire the Red Sox. They'll leave 1 on with 1 hit. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Red Sox 2 and New York nothing. Mets still looking for their first base hit as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Backman, Hernandez, and Carter. Wally Backman called out on strikes his first time up. Bill Buckner is still at first base, and he still can't move, and they still haven't bunted down to first base. Wade Boggs will play in, close at 3rd. It's not easy to get a ball down on Clemens because he throws that fastball, which is debatable as to whether it rises, but it sure looks that way. The delivery taken for a strike at the knees.
I think, generally speaking, he'd be awfully hard to bunt on with that high hard one.
You really have to get out in front of it. If the ball starts rising, you just nick it and pop it up. 1 strike count on Backman. Pitch to Wally. Swung on, hit in the air to left field. That'll back up Rice a few steps over near the line. He's got it. And Backman's retired, 1 down. Only base runner has been the walk to Strawberry in the 2nd inning. Otherwise, it has been all Roger Clemens with 2 strikeouts per inning in the first 3. And Keith Hernandez comes up, flied out to center field his first time up. Keith, hitting .250 in postseason play, has picked up 4 hits in 19 times up in the World Series. Clemens gave up 3 runs on 5 hits and 4 1/3 innings in his start in Game 2 against New York. But he is a much different pitcher here, well rested and ready to go. Pitches up high, ball 1. Time to dig a hole with that back foot in the batter's box. 1-0 delivery by Clemens is up high. Ball 2, 2-0. Gary Carter waiting on deck. 6 hits for the Red Sox. They picked up a run off Ojeda in the first and 1 in the second. The RBIs to Evans and Barrett. Pitch swung on, popped up, 3rd base, foul territory. Boggs over. Near the stands, will not have a play. A couple of rolls back and beyond the photographer's row down there as well. 2 balls and 1 strike on Keith Hernandez. Roger Clemens at one time might have been a New York Met. He had been selected by the Mets as a June draft pick, 12th round pick. And he decided he would go to college, and the Red Sox signed him after. 2-1 pitch popped up again to third. Boggs again moving over. Again at the photographer's booth, reaching in. He falls in. Umpire trying to look for the ball. He got it. And that'll retire Keith Hernandez. Into the photographer's booth, reached in, and then went down head first. Third base umpire coming over Harry Wendelstedt to see whether or not he still had the baseball, and he did. Good play by Boggs.
Harry Wendelstedt had to lean over the railing with him. Was a good play by Wade Boggs. He reached so far over, he lost his balance, went over that railing. And Wendelstedt, the umpire, pulled him out of there.
And he had the baseball when he came out, 2 down. Gary Carter flying out to center his first time up. Pitch to the kid is a fastball missing up high, ball 1. Starting November 2nd at 9 p.m., Bob Costas joins the Sports Radio 1050 team with his new talk radio show, Costas Coast to Coast. Carter takes the pitch down low.
I was thinking about your talking about Clemens being drafted by the Mets. That's, of course, traded Floyd Yeomans in the Gary Carter deal. How would you like to have Clemens, Yeomans, and the Doc on the same staff?
Popped up behind home plate, no play. Bewildering, isn't it, to think of what that might look like? Talk about some heat. 2-1 count on Gary Carter.
Put Bobby Ojeda between any two of those three, and he'd win about 30 games.
Guys would be falling all over themselves at the plate. 2-1 count, 2 down. Red Sox leading by a score of 2-0. Clemens. It's the sign from Gedman. Here's the 2-1 delivery. Fastball swung on a miss. High heater inside, 2-2, and the Mets are doing nothing. Right now is Roger Clemens, as he is just in control in this ball game. Gary Carter will step out. Carter 7 for 22 in the World Series, hitting only .229 in postseason play, but he has, as he did in the season, made him count with 9 RBIs. Fastball missing up high, 3-2. For the New York Mets, Gary Carter with the 7 World Series RBIs, their leader in runs batted in. 3-2 pitch, swung on and topped out in front of home plate. Clemens to get it, makes the throw to first, and Buckner will take it. That will retire Carter and the New York Mets. And they are still looking for their first hit. The end of 4, Red Sox 2, New York 0. Bobby Ojeda in this ball game, giving up a run in the first and 1 in the second. And Clemens doing exactly what the Mets hoped he wouldn't and the Sox hoped he would, Bob Murphy. He's just almost perfect.
I can't imagine how he can look any better than he has in the first 4 innings of Game 6 of the World Series tonight. Marty Barrett leading off. At the knee, strike 1 call. Barrett, the leading hitter of the World Series, 1 for 2 here tonight. He singled in the second inning. He now has 21 postseason hits. Right-hand batter waiting. The pitch by Bobby. Ground ball hit hard. Base hit. Beyond the reach of a diving Ray Knight, it goes into left field. And the Red Sox continue their hitting. Marty Barrett now is 2 for 3. He has 11 World Series hits. He had 11 League Championship Series hits. He has written a new record. He has 22 in postseason play. Tough job for Bobby Ojeda now. He must try very hard to keep the Red Sox from scoring more. They already lead 2-0, and we're in the 5th inning. Billy Buckner has flied to center and lined out hard to Strawberry. Strawberry made a very good play running to the warning track to reach up and grab it. Billy Buck, as they call him, a lifetime .295 hitter, an 18-year pro. Line to the air to deep right field. Strawberry going back, reaching up, makes the catch right in front of the right field fence. Strawberry whipping it back to the infield. 1 man down. Twice now. Strawberry's had to go to the wall to haul it in.
Buckner's hit a couple of real shots. Darrell turned the wrong way on the one that was hit out there in the second inning, but got turned around in time to haul it in. That time, he didn't have time to turn the wrong way. He just went backpedaling and reached up and got it.
The cleanup batter, Jim Rice, has reached on a walk and been called on strike. 7 for 19 in the World Series. Power hitter waiting. Off-speed delivery. Outside and low. It is ball 1. Red Sox 2 runs, 7 hits, no errors. The Mets no runs, no hits, no errors. It has been all Boston so far. Now Ojeda checks the runner. And a fly ball hit the right field. Playable for Strawberry. Easing back, makes the catch. That retires Jim Rice. And here we are in the 5th inning with 2 men down. And Bobby Ojeda still does not have it. He has 1 ground ball out. Santana handled 1 ground ball. That was in the 4th inning. Everything else has been in the air, and that's not Bobby Ojeda's game.
Go back a lot of innings pitched for Bobby Ojeda to find a time where he's had a game like this.
And the always dangerous Dwight Evans, the batter, doubled off the wall in deep left center field in the first inning, driving in one of the two Red Sox runs. Marty Barrett has the other RBI. Now Bobby Ojeda will check it out with Gary Carter. The pitch on the way, breaking ball low, 1 ball and no strikes. Let's keep an eye on Marty Barrett. He's one of a very few on this Red Sox ball club who will do any running at all. Red Sox with a 2-0 lead. Ojeda checks him. The pitch on the way, outside. Probably not, though. They don't want to take the bat out of the hands of Dwight Evans. Evans now has 6 hits in 20 times at bat in the World Series, including a 2-run homer he hit off Dwight Gooden here at Shea Stadium last weekend. This is Game 6. A victory for Boston, and they are the world champions. Mets must win to get to Game 7 tomorrow night. And a half-swing foul ball upstairs into the mezzanine crowd, and the count is 2-1 on Evans. 14-year pro for the Boston Red Sox. 26 home runs this year and 97 RBIs. Red Sox are an unusual ball club. They actually hit more home runs on the road than they did at home this year. Mets and the Red Sox hit about the same number of home runs. Outside and high. And Bobby Ojeda in a dangerous spot. Behind Evans, 3-1. 2 down, a runner on first base. Now let's keep an eye on Marty Barrett. 3-1 on Dwight Evans. Right-hand batter hitting out of a crouch. The pitch. Ball 4. Now runners on first and second. 2 men away, and Rich Gedman will be coming up. Bobby Ojeda walked Jim Rice in the first inning.
Bobby's having more trouble with that fastball than is normal. I mean, he'll throw that pitch, obviously, along with the off-speed stuff, but it's staying up in the strike zone on him, and he's having a hard time getting it in the strike zone here in this inning.
Now Gedman, the left-handed batting catcher. Against Bobby Ojeda tonight, he has flied to right and been struck out. 4 hits and 23 at-bats in the series. This will play Gedman, who has home run power. Around to right, both in the infield and in the outfield. The lead runner is Marty Barrett at second. Evans is on first. Breaking ball strike at the outside corner of the knee. Boy, what a beautiful pitch that was by Bobby Ojeda. Bobby working on 3 days rest. Roger Clemens working on 5 days rest. Right side of the infield deep. Wally Backman on the edge of the grass. Hernandez very deep and protecting the hole. Now the pitch. And it's moved into short left field. Mookie coming in. He'll get under it. Breaks the catch. And the inning is over. Fly ball into short left field. Mookie had excellent defensive position and came running in to pick it off. No runs. They hit 2 left on. Red Sox have had 7 left. Now we're halfway at the end of 4 1/2. Red Sox 2 and the Mets nothing. Darryl Strawberry will lead off the home 5th inning. In the Daily News hometown homer inning, Darryl will be batting for Alan Cohn of Brooklyn and R.L. Peak of St. Albans, New York. They would win 1,000 if the Mets hit a home run in this half inning. And if not, they'll receive an AM/FM stereo radio Mets hat called the Hatman. Strawberry reached on a walk. He's been New York's only base runner. Wide with a fastball, 1 ball and no strikes. Outfield deep and around to right for Darryl Strawberry. Darryl 4 for 18. 1-0 delivery. High fly ball hit down the left field line, headed toward the crowd and into the crowd out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike. You know how hard Clemens is throwing. When you see how much difficulty the Met hitters are having getting around and pulling the ball. They've been hitting it either straight away or the other way. They have not been pulling the ball on Clemens. Strawberry just took that one high in the air and fouled down the left field line. 1-1 delivery by the big right-hander. Up high, ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike. Mets are still looking for their first base hit of the ball game. When the Astros clinched the National League West, Mike Scott clinched it with a no-hitter. 2 high, ball 3. 3-1. Ray Knight waiting on deck, and then Mookie Wilson. Daily News hometown homer inning. Mets are batting for Alan Cohn of Brooklyn and R.L. Peak of St. Albans, New York. Now 3-1 to Darryl Strawberry. Darryl has been the only Met base runner. Pitching 3-1. Ball 4. He's on again. Second time Strawberry has walked. Shows you Roger Clemens has some respect for Darryl Strawberry. People Express team of airlines with their low prices. You can enjoy away games from the stands instead of your sofa. Ray Knight will be hitting. Ray was struck out his first time up. Clemens struck out 6 the first 3 innings. Did not strike out a batter in the 4th inning. And has walked Strawberry leading off in the 5th inning. Mets are trailing 2-0 as they bat on the bottom half of the 5th inning.
He's up over 70 pitches now. He's thrown quite a few.
He's working on a full 5 days of rest. As pitch total gets a little higher, it may start to have an effect on Roger Clemens' effectiveness. Now the stretch by the right-hander, the pitch. Foul back on the screen, strike 1. Ray Knight, a .298 hitter for the year. But in the World Series, 4 hits in 16 times at bat. It has not been a good hitting World Series for any of the New York Mets, except maybe for Lynn Dykstra and Wally Backman, and Gary Crowder, who has 7 RBIs. Clemens will look into Rich Gedman. Infield to the outfield straightaway. Strawberry with a short lead, the pitch, and a pop foul down the right field line. On the run, but far out of his reach, Dwight Evans, foul ball landing in the crowd. And a 2-strike count on Ray Knight. Boy, it is so hard to get that bat around on Roger Clemens.
He is throwing so hard, and then he gets ahead on the count, and you have to, in the back of your mind at least, keep an eye out for that breaking ball that he throws. And doing that, he's liable to tie you right up.
And he has thrown that curveball for strikes all night long. He might very well throw one to Ray Knight right here. He has a 2-strike advantage. The pitch on the way, and a foul ball hit back upstairs into the mezzanine section. Mets will start their bullpen as they get down toward the bottom part of the order. Let's get anything going at all, and Bobby Ojeda's turn comes up. We'll probably see a pinch hitter. Rick Aguilera is working in the bullpen. He was up very early in the ball game, but then Bobby Ojeda settled in. 2-0 Boston. Mets batting bottom half of the 5th inning. Now the pitch. Outside a breaking ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ray Knight did a good job of following that breaking ball. Now Roger McDowell will get up at the bullpen. There's no tomorrow unless the Mets win here tonight. Clemens will check the runner. The pitch. In the dirt, Strawberry running to throw the flag. Safe. Stolen base, Darryl Strawberry. Marty Barrett thought he had tagged him high and thought that he had him, but he did not. Strawberry running, caught everybody by surprise, but Gedman made a strong throw. Helped out that time a breaking ball that was in the dirt.
That's a tough play because that tag, he had it on his head, but the ball came out of his glove. Barrett has a knack of tagging people on the top of the helmet. That time when he did it, probably would have had the out on Strawberry. He would have, but he couldn't hang on to the ball.
Yeah, I didn't see the ball fly out of there at first. You're right, he tagged him right on the helmet. And then he spun around as though to say, hey, I've got him, but he didn't have the ball. So Strawberry, for the second time tonight, has stolen second. Mets have done well running on the Red Sox. They have stolen 9 out of 11. Ray Knight with a count of 2 balls and 2 strikes. Mets are still looking for their first base hit of the game. They have Strawberry on second. Second time Darryl has been to second base. The pitch, and a ground ball hit toward the middle. Base hit to center field. Strawberry around third, coming home to score. It's 2-1. Ground single through the middle by Ray Knight. And the stolen base by Darryl Strawberry helps to build a run for the New York Mets. A walk, a stolen base, a single through the middle. And that, by the way, is the first hit of the game off Roger Clemens. What a big hit. And it's now a 2-1 ball game.
But the fastball, it was down low, and he had to fight it off, but he got the good part of the wood on the bat. Big hit for Ray Knight, his 3rd RBI in the World Series. He went down to first base, banging himself on the head after he realized Strawberry would score. So that'll take a little bit of that pressure off.
Give Darryl Strawberry a world of credit for stealing second. Now the hitter is Mookie Wilson. The Mets have their first hit of the ball game. They now trail 2-1, and they've been out hit 7-1. Mookie Wilson, the batter. Mookie called on strikes his first time up. Right-hander Roger Clemens ready. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Rafael Santana is the on-deck batter. The tying run on first base with nobody out. Ray Knight, the runner on first, is not a base stealer. He does not have that kind of speed. And the pitch on the way, swing and a miss. Mookie did not have a good swing at that high, Hardman. It has not been a good World Series or postseason so far for Mookie Wilson, after having a very, very good year. Ray Knight on first. Mookie with a 2-strike disadvantage. The pitch to him, outside high, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Mookie, a switch hitter, batting left against Roger Clemens. Red Sox 2 and the Mets 1. Bottom half of the 5th inning. Crowd now really coming to life here at Shea Stadium. Clemens will come to the stop position. The pitch, high and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Good pitches by Clemens, though. Mookie went after a bad pitch when he picked up that swinging strike, so Clemens was going to give him a chance to try and do it again. Mookie, good job of hitting, laid off it.
He has to lay off of that high outside fastball. You cannot catch up with it. Now 2-2 on Mookie Wilson. Santana, the on-deck batter. Clemens will eye the runner at first. The pitch, fouled out of play. That goes behind third and back into the crowd. Very quickly, the Mets build a run here in the 5th inning. Strawberry opened with a walk. He stole second. He scored on a ground single through the middle by Ray Knight. Clemens into the stretch. And the pitch. Foul ball again, straight back and into the crowd. So many foul balls have been hit off Roger Clemens. There always will be as hard as he throws. But as a result, the pitch total gets up pretty high in a hurry when Clemens is on the mound. How many can he throw before he begins to tire? Time will tell that story. Maybe he won't tire at all. Mookie waiting, the pitch. Ground ball, base hit, going into right field. Ray Knight will stop at second. The ball bobbled. Knight going on to third. He'll go to third. Bobbled in right field by Dwight Evans. Now first and third and nobody out. That'll be a single to right by Mookie, and give Mookie a world of credit. He looked bad on the first 2 pitches, but he hung in there, showed discipline, and then got a base hit.
Davey Johnson's going to make a decision that I think has to be made. He's going to put Danny Heap up and pinch hit for Rafael Santana. They've got an inning going. McDowell's ready to go in the bullpen with Ojeda due up next. You're only going to get a couple of chances, probably, against Clemens the way he's throwing, and to Davey's credit, you take out your real good shortstop right here and try and keep an inning alive.
Well, that's why they put shortstop Kevin Elster on the roster for a situation like this. John McNamara, the manager of the Red Sox, will go to the mound and talk to Roger Clemens, and we'll pause for station identification.
Hello, everybody. This is Dan Daniel. You're listening to the World Series on Sports Radio 1050 WHN, New York's country music station.
Bob Murphy with Gary Thorne. Shea Stadium crowd having the best time they've had in a long time. They've really had something to yell about here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Let's have the tying run on third, the go-ahead run on first, and nobody out. They did not have a base hit coming into the 5th inning. They now have back-to-back base hits by Ray Knight and Mookie Wilson. And Danny Heap will be coming up as a pinch hitter, batting for Santana. Bobby Ojeda comes out on deck, but whether he hits or not, time will tell in a moment. Roger McDowell has warmed up and is ready to come into the ballgame. Now the Mets in need of an outfield fly or something better, and they will have this game tied up. Ray Knight, not a fast runner, on third. Mookie Wilson, a very fast runner, is on first. Danny Heap, who was a good pinch hitter all year long, standing in against Roger Clemens. Now we're ready. The pitch on the way, up high, ball 1. Billy Buckner holding against Mookie Wilson, but then moving away, trying to get in a position to cover the hole with a left-hand batter, Danny Heap at the plate. Danny had a lot of base hits to the other way to left center this year. The stretch by Clemens. Throw to third. He fakes the throw to third. Fakes the throw to first. No balk. He stepped off. Perfectly legal.
Pinch hitters have not had a hit in this World Series yet. They are 0 for 6. Danny will take the hit. Right now, the fly ball to get Knight in.
2-1. Red Sox have the lead. First and third. Nobody out. New York. The pitch. Up high. Fastball missing. 2 balls and no strikes. Davey Johnson has Bobby Ojeda out of the on-deck circle. He doesn't want to tip his hat at the moment. We'll get warm-up action in the Red Sox bullpen. Clemens with a 2-0 count to Danny Heath. The stretch by the big right-hander. The pitch on the way, and a check swing ground ball down to third foul. Foul ball. Danny did not want to hit that. He tried to stop the bat, but the pitch hit the barrel of the bat and bounced foul up the third base line. 2 balls and 1 strike. That's now with a great opportunity for tying up the ball game.
Sammy Stewart warming up, Bob.
Former Baltimore Oriole right-hander Sammy Stewart in the bullpen for Boston. Clemens into the stretch. 2-1 delivery. Ground ball to the right side. It might be a double play. A run will score. The throw back to first is in time. Double play, but it ties the ball game. The Mets have tied it up. Danny Heath hit into a double play, 4-6-3. But in to score comes Ray Knight. And the Mets are back even in this ball game with the Red Sox. No RBI in the play for Danny Heath. But he does get the run home by hitting the ball, by hitting it on the ground, and he even pulled the ball and hit it sharply.
Yeah, they had to go over there. If it had been to the left side, whether Ray Knight would have gone or not, we don't know what he was told, but with the ball hit to the right side in the infield at double play depth, he took off and is able to score the run, keeps Bobby in the game.
Bobby Ojeda will stay in the game now. The Mets have tied it up. 2 outs and nobody on. Pitched by Roger Clemens, swing and a miss, strike 1. So Roger McDowell was warmed up and ready. Had there been people on base right here, you can pretty well be sure that Davey would have put up a pinch hitter. But now with the bases empty and Ojeda pitching well, he'll stay in. Swing and a foul tip. And Clemens with a 2-strike count. A walk, a key stolen base by Darryl Strawberry. A timely single by Ray Knight. A timely hit by Mookie Wilson. A misplay in the outfield by Dwight Evans allowed Knight to go to third. Outside. That run would not have scored, at least not at this point in time, had the ball not been bobbled by Dwight Evans for an error. Now Clemens with a 1-2 count on Bobby Ojeda, and a ground ball hit the second, fielded by Marty Barrett. He'll throw to Buckner, and the inning is over, but the Mets have tied the ball game. They're back in it. 2 runs on 2 hits. Nobody left. At the end of 5 at Shea Stadium in Game 6. Red Sox 2, the Mets 2.
Your World Series station, Sports Radio 1050 WHN.
Sixth inning at Shea Stadium, the game tied 2-2. Dave Henderson, the Boston center fielder, will be leading off against Bobby Ojeda. Kevin Elster, the rookie, is now playing shortstop. Santana left the game for a pinch hitter, Danny Heath. Danny hit a ground ball into a double play, but Ray Knight came in to score. And that ties the game at 2-2. Ojeda might be getting a little tired. He's working on 3 days rest. The thin left-hander delivers. Strike call to the outside corner. He gave up 5 hits in the first 2 innings, but over the last 3 has allowed only 2 hits. So he's been a lot better the last 3 innings than he was the first 2 here tonight. Pitch on the way. Threaded a needle with that. A change on the inside corner, and a 2-strike count on Dave Henderson. Henderson, the center fielder, has flied to left and flied to center. He has 8 base hits in the World Series. 2-strike delivery. Ground ball hit toward the middle, running for it, Elster. Flags it down. The throw got him. Elster just came in the ball game. Not an easy play at all. He has good range. Going toward the middle, he ran it down, and he made a good throw. 1 down.
Well, you talk about some butterflies that have to be out there in the stomach of Kevin Elster, a young man who played Double-A baseball, put on the roster for just this reason, and now comes in where every play matters and is magnified 1,000-fold.
The number 8 hitter is Spike Owen, the switch-hitting shortstop. He already is 2 for 2 off Bobby Ojeda in this ball game. He has scored one of the 2 Bo Sox runs. Game tied at 2. We're at the top of the 6th inning. Now Bobby Ojeda looking in to Gary Carter. Ray Knight even with the bag, wide of the line at third. Straight away at second and short. Owen looks at a pitch on the outside corner, strike 1 call. Bobby Ojeda pitching beautifully now. A little bit off of his timing early on, first 2 innings, gave up 5 hits, but then got into a Bobby Ojeda groove. And the left-hander winds the pitch, up high. 1 ball and 1 strike on Spike Owen. Spike Owen is a former Texas Longhorn star, along with Roger Clemens and Calvin Schiraldi. All 3 played for the University of Texas. Spike Owen was playing for Seattle But he came to Boston in a trade late in the year. Ground ball slowly hit, tough play. Hernandez will grab it. Backhand toss won't get him. Safe at first base. Infield hit. Hernandez got himself into a position where he couldn't throw the ball. He couldn't stop in midair and spin around and be able to make a toss.
Bobby Ojeda almost picked that ball up himself, just about a half a step too far ahead of him. He would have had the best play of picking it up and running to first. Once Keith made the play, moving towards the plate, as you say, Bob, he just tried an awkward, off-balance throw, and he never got it over to the pitcher covering.
As Spike Owen has 3 for 3. That's a terrible-looking base hit, but it is a base hit. Little rubber hit down toward first base. Now Roger Clemens will be the batter. He has struck out trying to bunt and fouled out trying to bunt. He'll probably be trying again. Ojeda will throw to first base, not in time. So with one away, Spike Owen is on first. Spike now has 3 hits in the ball game. He's 3 for 3. He came into this game 3 for 13. Throw to first, not in time. Low throw, handled by Keith Hernandez. Mets have been out hit 8-2, but the game is tied 2-2 with the Red Sox batting in the top of the 6th inning. Ray Knight way in close at third. Throw to first, third time in a row. Well, Bobby Ojeda has a feeling here, and he is really keeping a short halter on Spike Owen. Clemens getting out of the box, studying the signs from Rene Latchford, who's on the lines at third. Waiting on a pitch. He's around to bunt, but it's high. 1 ball and no strikes. Looks like he's definitely going to try and bunt him over.
He could just bunt the ball hard and get the ball by Ray Knight, who is right on top of him. There is nobody, with Elster moving over to cover second base, nobody on the left side of the infield if he can get it by Knight.
Ray Knight really challenging, in awfully close at third on the grass. Hernandez trying to jockey into position. He wants to hold the runner, but be ready to come in. Bunted. It'll be picked up by Hernandez. Throw to second. Out at second. Keith Hernandez to Elster, and they get the lead runner, Spike Owen. You can see that one coming, and I want to tell you, it took a magnificent throw to make the play. Hernandez has a great arm, and he had to really air it out that time. That was a hard throw.
Didn't get it out of his glove cleanly either. Took that just a split second extra in order to get the ball out of the glove after he had fielded it, but made that perfect throw down, got the runner at second base. That was a good bunt, but when you've got the corners charging like that, there's not much you can do.
Maybe that is a good sign for the New York Mets. In the 16-inning game in the Astrodome, it was a similar play to that, but Hernandez gambled too hard to second and kept the runner out of scoring position. It paid off. Wade Boggs, the hitter, a strike ball to the outside corner. Boggs, hitting like Wade Boggs here tonight, has 2 hits in 3 times at bat. Game tied 2-2, top of the 6th inning. Bobby Ojeda holding the runner close. Strike call to the outside corner. Bobby Ojeda throwing that slider on the outside corner and just painting the outside corner. Now a 2-strike count. Here is the best hitter in baseball, Wade Boggs. Left-hand line drive type hitter. The stretch by Ojeda. The pitch. Outside and low. Tried to get him to chase a bad ball that time. Boggs would not do it. And the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Lynn Dykstra doing some knee bends, staying real loose out in center field. Ready to go either way if he has to on a long drive. Clemens, the base runner on first. The pitch. Just missed. That was so close to being strike 3. Following the reaction of Bobby Ojeda, his hands went down on his knees, and he shook his head. He thought he had him. He did not, and the count is 2-2. Beautiful breaking ball, just missed the outside corner. Bobby Ojeda really disappointed not to get that call. Now the pitch, and a ground ball hit toward the middle. Wally Backman with it, flips to Elster. The inning is over. Good inning for Bobby Ojeda. Kevin Elster had a hand in all 3 of the outs. No runs, 1 hit, a runner left. Red Sox have now had 8 left on base. In the middle of the 6th inning, 2-2. Last of the 6th inning is Shea. Lynn Dykstra, Wally Backman, and Keith Hernandez will be coming up. Roger Clemens has now thrown 99 pitches. If he were to continue at this rate for a full 9 innings, he would throw almost 180 pitches. It is interesting to note he struck out 6 in the first 3 innings, but has not struck out a hitter in the 4th or 5th innings. So maybe he has lost a little bit off that blazing fastball. Lynn Dykstra is 0 for 2. The windup by Clemens. Foul ball, straight back, strike one.
That apparently is going to be it for Bobby Ojeda. Roger McDowell is getting up again and throwing in earnest in the bullpen.
Bobby Ojeda deserves so much praise for his gutty performance here tonight. Pitching on 3 days rest and pitching so well. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike two. Very quickly, Roger Clemens with a 2-strike count on the man they call Nails, Lenny Dykstra. He's had 3 dramatic home runs in postseason play. Now Dykstra behind on the count. Wally Backman on deck, and then Keith Hernandez. The pitch. A half-swing foul ball. Good-looking curveball by Clemens. And Dykstra just put the bat out there and whacked it foul. So he hangs in there with a 2-strike count. Mets did not have a base hit when they came to bat in the 5th inning. Before the inning was over, they scored twice and tied the ball game. 2-strike delivery. Curve, strike 3. Beautiful pitch by Roger Clemens. His 7th strikeout of the ball game. He broke off a great curveball on Lynn Dykstra.
Don't see Lenny Dykstra strike out all that often. He didn't during the season and hasn't in the extra season play. But boy, when he sees that curveball, nothing he can do with it.
Stanley Tools, the tool company that helps you do things right, salutes Todd Worrell of the Cardinals. Todd, a rookie, led the National League in saves with 36. Stanley Tools salutes Todd Worrell, who does things right. Wally Backman. Outside, it's ball one, fastball. Game tied 2-2. Bottom half of the 6th inning at Shea Stadium. An absolute must for the New York Mets. If the Red Sox win, they're champions of baseball. The big right-hander into his motion. Fouled, straight back. 1 ball and 1 strike. Table setters have not been on base yet. Dykstra is 0 for 3. Wally Backman is 0 for 2. Dykstra's been fanned twice and Backman once. So the little guys have had trouble with a big power-throwing pitcher. Big crowd here at Shea of over 55,000 trying to help the Mets to get something going. Now the pitch, and he thought about a drag bunt. He pulled the bat away. It was inside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Gary and I have been waiting for that against the Red Sox, who play Billy Buckner deep. And Buckner is hobbling. It's hard for him to run. But of course, that pitch is not easy to bunt either. Hard to hit and hard to bunt. Clemens with a count of 2-1 on Wally Backman. Ground ball hits hard, smothered by Owen. The throw, safe, he beat it out, base hit. What a play by Spike Owen. He made a whirl and a stab, and he threw from his knees, and he threw a bullet to Billy Buckner, not quite in time, an infield hit.
Shortstop can't make a better play than that. I don't know how he was able to throw 1 knee up and 1 down. He made a throw that got to Buckner on the fly from deep in the hole at short.
Magnificent play by Spike Owen. Boy, that fellow can play shortstop. I know now why Cliff Gustafson, his college coach, said that of the trio, he knew that Spike Owen would get to the big leagues in a hurry, and he did. That was a marvelous play. Keith Hernandez will try and keep it going. Keith 0 for 2 of the game. Throw to first, not in time. Would have been a little better throw, and it wasn't all that bad. It just wasn't a hard throw. Would have been a very close play. Looked like he caught Wally by surprise with that throw. No more surprises, says Wally Backman. Now Wally, a good base runner and base stealer, takes the lead. The pitch on the way, under the knees, 1 ball and no strikes. Keith Hernandez, 4 hits and 20 times at bat in the World Series. Not a good series so far for Keith. Now the man the players call next looks down toward Buddy Harrelson to see if Davey has a play on. They'll go to the hit and run with Keith Hernandez at the plate. Good bat control. Throw to first. Wally getting back. Buckner tried to fake as though the ball had gotten away from him. Wally was having no part of that. He gave that the old high school fake.
Wally got a big smile on his face there. Buck has a hard time even faking. He gets off the bag. He hobbled around that time. He's taking ghosts down there at first base.
Oh, my moment of relief at a World Series game. Go to first. Backman getting back. So Roger Clemens, knowing that Backman is an excellent base stealer, working awfully hard to keep a short holder on him. Game tied 2-2. Mets batting bottom half of the 6th inning. Gary Carter is the on-deck batter. Clemens taking a long time between the pitches. Hernandez waiting the pitch. Fastball at the letters, a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. And again, Keith wants to check it out with Buddy Harrelson. The only thing that might be on here would be, well, there are a couple of things. A steal maybe, or a hit-and-run play. Pretty hard to play hit-and-run, I would imagine, against Roger Clemens, as hard as he throws. They're just gambling that if he doesn't make contact, Backman will steal the base. Throw to first, not in time. The game tied 2-2. Mets batting in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Mets have been out hit 8-3 with the bottom line 2-2. Hernandez windmilling the bat around, waiting on Roger Clemens. Boy, he has slowed it down now. He's thrown over 100 pitches now. I'm sure he had a lot of games this year where he threw 135, 140. The night he struck out 20, he must have thrown more than that. Now the pitch, Wally's running. Line drive, base hit to center field. Backman around second, going to third. He's into third. First and third, 1 man down. Hit and run play, working beautifully. Hernandez singles to center field. Henderson charged the ball, wanting to play at third. He bobbled it for a moment, lost his chance.
Keith Hernandez had to go after that pitch. That was out of the strike zone up high, but that's one Keith can handle, and he gave it that tomahawk swing, a good hard cut, and drove a hard line drive into center field as Clemens gave him a heater out of the strike zone.
Now Gary Carter will be the batter. Runners on first and third and 1 man down. That's now with 4 hits off Roger Clemens. There'll be warm-up action going in a moment in the Boston Red Sox bullpen. They had right-hander Sammy Stewart up in the last inning. Now the infield at double play depth. Carter, who hits the ball hard, does not run fast, is waiting. Swing and a miss, breaking ball. Gary Carter, his first time up tonight, hit a long line drive that was caught at the edge of the warning track. Can he repeat that performance? The Mets would have the lead. Second time at bat, though, he grounded out. I think they'll switch off now to Steve Crawford at the bullpen. The pitch on the way, foul pop-up, no play. Back into the crowd, but now Clemens with a 2-strike advantage pitching to Gary Carter.
Now this is where Gary's been productive both during the regular season and in postseason play. He has picked up the RBIs with a minimum number of hits.
Gary Carter standing out of the batter's box for a moment. Wally Backman on third, Keith Hernandez on first, and 1 man out. Game tied 2-2. Clemens looking in to Rich Goodman. Infield looks for 2. The outfield is straight away. Carter cocks the bat. The pitch. Strike 3 call. Fastball on the outside corner. Carter arguing with plate umpire Dale Ford, but he's been called out. 8 strikeouts now for Roger Clemens. And Darryl Strawberry comes up.
Oh, that's an enormous strikeout. That's where the fly ball would have gotten in the go-ahead run right there. Came at him with a pitch that Carter thought was outside the plate.
You don't think he might have been looking curveball there? I don't know.
Don't know. Hard to tell.
Looked like a pretty good pitch. Now first and third and 2 down. The Mets needing a base hit. Strawberry. Curveball high. 1 ball and no strikes. Both times at bat tonight, Strawberry has drawn a walk. And in the 5th inning, after he drew the walk, he stole second. That helped build a run. Ray Knight then singled through the middle, and Strawberry scored. Darryl also stole second after drawing a walk in the 2nd inning. They will not be walking him here. They have to pitch to him. And Strawberry will be hoping to get a pitch that he can drive. Game tied 2-2, bottom half of the 6th inning. Marvelous number 6 game of a World Series. The stretch by Clemens. The pitch. Outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Ray Knight is the on-deck batter. It was Ray Knight who drove in a run, scoring Strawberry in the last inning. Clemens taking some time now, walks around behind the back of the mound. Darryl Strawberry, 4 hits and 18 times at bat at the World Series. They play him deep and around to right. Here's the pitch. Fouled straight back. He got a good pitch to swing at, but he fouled it off, and the count is 2-1. Giving credit to Roger Clemens, he had not fanned the batter in the last 2 innings. But here in the 7th inning, he has fanned Dykstra and Gary Carter. He now has 8 strikeouts in the ballgame. The runners lead from first and third. Foul back, 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Darryl Strawberry. Clemens just reaching back now, getting all the power at his command and challenging the hitters with fastballs.
Every Red Sox pitcher, as we noted at Fenway Park, walks to the back of the mound about 19 times an inning. At Fenway, they have worn the grass. There's no grass directly behind the mound. Clemens tonight doing the same thing. He's wearing a hole back there. They all like to step back, go off the mound, settle it in, then come back up.
Makes for long ball games, but obviously it makes for winning baseball, with the Red Sox winning in the American League. It's 2-2 on Darryl Strawberry. Now the pitch on the way. Ground ball hit hard, but right at Marty Barrett. He throws to second. The inning is over. Strawberry hit it hard. Any place else, it was a base hit. But he hit it right at Marty Barrett, the second baseman. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left. At the end of 6 at Shea Stadium, the Red Sox 2 and the Mets 2. Dave Cohen and Rusty Staub will have a great game to talk about on Mets Extra when this one is over. Mets now present a new pitcher, and Gary Thorne will tell you all about it.
Roger McDowell will come on, the sinker ball throwing right-hander, making his 4th appearance in the World Series. And as we go to the top of the 7th inning, he will face Barrett, Buckner, and Rice. Marty Barrett has continued his rampage of hits. 2 hits. Pitches a strike on the inside corner. Barrett 2 singles and 3 times up. Every time he gets a hit, he just adds to the record for most hits in postseason play. Barrett hitting almost 400 now in postseason. Pitch missing up high, 1 ball and 1 strike. Roger McDowell appeared in game 1, coming on for Darling, going a couple of good innings, giving up only 2 hits in that one. Came back in game 3 for his 2nd appearance. Pitch is fouled back. McDowell in for Ojeda. In game 3 went 2 innings, perfect innings, retired all 6 batters that he faced in that one. And McDowell pitched in game 4 at Boston, 2/3 of an inning, when the Red Sox touched him up for 2 runs on 3 hits in that outing. Well, that's what Roger McDowell has done here in the World Series. McDowell, the right-hander, with a 1-2 count on Marty Barrett. All tied 2-2. The delivery. Barrett takes the breaking ball down low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Marty Barrett, with the 2 hits he's picked up here, now has 22 hits, including 4 doubles. Pitch swung on, hit down the right field line. That'll curve off into the stands. Count will remain at 2-2. Barrett has added an RBI to his postseason totals, now has 8. And has just been nothing short of outstanding for this second baseman. He had a great year to go along with his postseason play. 2-2 count. Mets 2 runs on only 4 hits. Low Sox 2 runs, 8 hits, and 1 error. McDowell's 2-2 delivery swung on and top foul. That'll go into the Red Sox dugout, and he'll have to do 2-2 again. Barrett, of course, was the MVP in the American League Championship Series. 28 years old, 4 years at the Major League level, and has a 281 career batting average, 286 this past year. 2-2 count on him. Again, McDowell delivers, swung on and fouled off again, this time down the right field line. Count will remain at 2-2. The Red Sox win this, it's all over, and the World Championship is theirs. The Mets trying to send it into Game 7 tomorrow night here. Ron Darling would be making the start against Oil Can Boyd, the probable starters for Game 7 if necessary. McDowell getting the sign from Carter. Here's the 2-2 delivery. Just missed outside with that. And the count is full, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Gary Carter talking over his shoulder a little bit after that one.
Dale Ford, the home plate umpire. Tight ball game. Ford, 44 years old. This is his first World Series. The umpire of 11 seasons. College basketball referee in the offseason. 3-2 delivery. That's down in the dirt, and he walked him. So the leadoff man is on here in the 7th inning. as Barrett gets the walk. He's been on 3 or 4 times he's been up, and it will bring up Bill Buckner. Buckner has hit the ball hard twice to right field and has also flied out to center. Buckner 4 for 26 in the World Series, and Billy Buck with a chance to move a base runner around here in this 2-2 ball game.
You know, they run a gamble here. If the bunt is not a good one, he could bunt into a double play the way he's running. But, of course, if he gets a good bunt down and moves the runner, that's what they want.
A left-handed batter. McDowell, with Knight coming in at third, squares around, drops it foul in the box. He is a foul ball. Carter throws to second, but it hit him. Ford, the home plate umpire, making the call. That'll be strike 1. Buckner bunted it right straight down, and it hit on the inside of the foot. Ray Knight, coming in from third, asked the home plate umpire about it, and Buckner, helping the home plate umpire out, pointed down to the instep of his right foot, saying that's where he got me. Now he wants third base coach to go through the signs again here. Mary Lockman coming down to give them to him. Buck moves back in. Kevin Elster, the young shortstop out there, talks to Roger McDowell. He wants to make sure he knows what's going on here. Keith Hernandez holding the bag at first, and Billy Buckner takes a look down there. Now Hernandez will cheat a step in. They want to hold Barrett as close as they can to try and get him at second base if there's a bunt. 0-1, he's swinging. It's a chopper to second. Runner going. Play has to go to first. Backman gets the runner, but it works as well as a sacrifice. They sent Marty Barrett. Ground ball to Backman at second base. Buckner's out of there, but the go-ahead runs on at second with 1 away. Jim Rice coming up. Rice has drawn a walk, struck out, and flied to right field. Rice has had a decent postseason, even though his average isn't up there. 215 overall, but he's had 7 hits World Series play, 7 for 21 now, and Rice has made them count. In the World Series games, Jim Rice has scored 5 times himself, has not picked up an RBI. Pitch to him, down low, ball 1. Right-handed batter, McDowell looking for that ground ball with the infield back deep all around. Barrett on at second base and 1 away. 2-2, top of the 7th. McDowell ready, checks the runner. Delivery to Rice, swung on a chopper foul. Knight will play it in foul territory at third. 1 ball and 1 strike. Bobby Ojeda, 6 gritty innings. As the Red Sox touched him up for a run in the first on a leadoff single by Boggs. Moved to second on a walk to Rice and scored on an Evans double. Red Sox came back in the second with a 1-out single by Owen, a single by Boggs, and an RBI single by Barrett. After that, Bobby Ojeda would give up only 3 hits. McDowell ready, 1-1 count. They delivered to Rice, swung on a ground ball to third. Knight will hold the runner. Throws the high to first. Fernandez can't get it. Out of his glove. And moving up to third base is Barrett. An error on Ray Knight. A high throw to Keith Hernandez, who tried to stay in the bag and haul it in. It hit off the top of his glove, and everybody is safe.
And it could have been even worse. That throw was so high. It could have gone completely by Keith, and a run would have scored. Keith, by going high in the air, managed to knock it down. But it really puts the Mets into a very difficult spot.
So another error in a close game by the New York Mets, and now runners at first and third and 1 down. Game is tied. That should have been a runner at second and 2 away. It will bring up Evans. Dwight Evans has doubled, walked, and flied to right field. He has one of the RBIs.
Boy, if he's ever thrown a great sinker and a double play ball, now's the time for it.
It is the only extra base hit in this game, that double by Evans in the first inning. Now Evans will check with Rice at first. Barrett the go-ahead run at third base. New York Mets have now committed 4 errors here in the World Series. McDowell, the delivery. Evans takes it inside, ball 1. Gedman on deck. So McDowell in a real tough jam. On helping himself with a leadoff walk. He thought he had the called third strike on that walk to Barrett, but didn't get it. Now Barrett's at third. 1-0 delivery. Taken. Low. Ball 2. 2-0. McDowell behind on the count here. The Red Sox try and go back on top.
American League umpiring style, you get more of the high strikes, fewer of the low strikes. The opposite is true in the National League. American League umpire behind the plate tonight.
Roger McDowell, the infield playing back for 2. Here's the 2-0 pitch to Evans, way outside. Carter, a good stop, backhanded it, 3-0. So McDowell really in a hole now. If he walks him, it will load them up for Gedman. 3-0 count, Dwight Evans. Looking down again to Rene Lackman to see what the sign is going to be here. Whether they want him taking or giving the green light to try and get the base hitter fly ball. Left-handed batters on deck. 3-0 count. McDowell ready. Here's the pitch. He's taking, and it's a strike. 3-1. Dwight Evans with a chance to do some real damage here. He's picked up 5 RBIs now in the World Series. He leads Boston Red Sox in runs batted in. 3-1 count on him. McDowell ready to throw, and Evans backs out. 3-1. Evans did that on purpose. He waited till McDowell was delivering and then turned right around to Ford, the home plate umpire, asking for the timeout. Obviously willing to pick up that walk or get the good fat pitch. Doing whatever he needs to do, and McDowell's going to play the same game as he goes to the back of the mound and makes Evans wait.
Boy, Davies upset about that last one by Dale Ford.
3-1 strike count. McDowell ready. Here's the pitch. Swung on and fouled back. McDowell comes back to take the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. 3-2, 1 down. Runners at first and third. The game is tied at 2-2. Marty Barrett's the go-ahead run. On at third base, Jim Rice. Reaching on the error at first. And Dwight Evans will wait for the signs to be given again. Keith Hernandez will come over to talk to Roger McDowell. They might send the runner here if they fear the ground ball. Rice does not have speed at first base. The infield playing back. The runner at third will be going. Evans is able to hit the baseball anywhere. Mets are going to play it for 2. McDowell fiddles with the dirt in front of the rubber. Dwight Evans waving the bat. He's choked up on it. 3-2 count to him. McDowell ready. Here's the delivery. Runner goes. Ground ball. Second base. Backman throws. They did not get him. A run will score. They get the runner at first base. They do not get the runner at second. Evans was running, and Backman's flip to the shortstop, Kevin Elster, not quite in time. It is 3-2 Boston.
Good gamble by the Red Sox. They had Rice running because he's not fast at all, and the ball wasn't hit hard enough to give Backman a chance to get the ball to second in time. And a run will come in. Had he not been running, that would have been a double play, and the inning would have been over. So McNamara took the gamble. It worked for him.
They get the runner, Evans, 4-6-3. They do not get the runner at second base. So now there are 2 down, but the Sox are ahead 3-2, and Gedman's up. Pitch to him's a ground ball foul outside of first base. Gedman 0 for 3 in the game, has struck out once, flied out twice. So with a runner going, McNamara makes the right decision. Otherwise, that would have been an easy double play.
The leadoff walk and the error of the throw by Ray Knight turning to be very costly.
Just what you expect, and in World Series play, the way it should be. You make mistakes, they're going to cost you. 1 strike count. The delivery, swung on and missed, jammed him that time. And Roger McDowell's ahead on the count, 2 strikes. Red Sox picking up the go-ahead run, top of the 7th, 3-2 lead now. Barrett will get on with the walk. That close call that McDowell thought should have been a 3rd strike to Barrett. That ended up putting him on the next pitch. Roger McDowell, 0-2. The delivery swung on, hit hard into left field. That's a base hit. Mookie coming up with it. They're going to send the runner. Should be a play. Throw to the plate. Carter's got him. He is out at home plate. Mookie Wilson, the Gary Carter who laid the tag up high as Rice tried to slide to the inside of home plate. Mookie gets the runner. That'll do it in the inning, but the Red Sox add one. 7th inning stretch at Shea. Boston 3, New York 2. Unearned run picked up that gives the Boston Red Sox a 3-2 lead. They have won, of course, one game already, the first game, with an unearned run. And the Mets again will have to try and come from behind. No team has come from behind and won in the first 5 games because the team that jumped out on top stayed there. Ray Knight will lead it off here with a chance for some retribution, having committed the error that allowed that unearned run. 3 runs, 9 hits for Boston. They've committed an error. New York 2 runs, 4 hits, and an error. Orozco throwing in the New York Mets bullpen. It will be Ray Knight, Wilson, and Kevin Elster. Kel Schiraldi, the right-hander, gets up for Boston. Clemens has gone the distance, 8 strikeouts and 2 walks. Ray Knight, RBI single in the 5th. Hits the first pitch down the right field line, foul, strike 1. Knight has also gone down swinging. Mets could do nothing with Clemens until the 5th inning, when Strawberry drew a walk. He had drawn one before and became only the second base runner. And then Knight got the first hit, the RBI single. Mets would score the second run when Knight scored on a double play ball. 0-1 pitch, swung on, hit in the air to right at Dwight Evans. He's got it, 1 down. Bottom of the 7th inning, time running out. And 1 run looming large. The way Roger Clemens is pitching, even though he is well over 100 pitches, that big rest he's had, he continues to throw hard. Mookie Wilson got a single in the 5th inning. Mookie's 1 for 2. He has been called out on strikes, 3 hits, and 12 times up in the series for Mookie as he has really struggled in postseason, hitting only 182. Squared the bunt, takes it for a strike. That's a good idea. Billy Buckner's almost in right field at first base, but the Mets have just not tried to lay a bunt down there. 0-1 delivery. Check swing up high, 1 ball and 1 strike. Roger Clemens with a 1-1 record and 4 starts in postseason play. Non-decision in his outing against New York. Game 2. Pitch swung on and foul back. And the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes on Mookie Wilson with Kevin Elster waiting.
Tough decision coming up for Davy Johnson on whether or not to let Kevin Elster come to bat.
As Howard Johnson, of course, has played shortstop. Kevin Mitchell has played some shortstop on the bench. 1-2 delivery. That's outside for a ball. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Mookie. Clemens threw 143 pitches in the first American League championship game that he pitched in, 134 in the next one. Swung on and fouled back. Game 2, he exited after only 4 1/3 innings. He was having some problems with the flu. He threw 81 pitches in that one. 2-2 count. Delivery to Mookie. Just missed. Fastball inside. The count goes full, 3-2. Dale Ford has not had an easy night behind the plate. He's had some real close pitches in big situations. Of course, that covers about every pitch in this game. Here's the 3-2 delivery. Mookie swings a ground ball to second. Barrett to his right. Gets it over to first to Buckner, and Mookie's retired, and there are 2 down. So Clemens gets the first 2 batters here in the 7th, and it will bring up Kevin Elster. Kevin Elster coming on to play when Davy Johnson sent Danny Heap to the plate in the 5th inning as a pinch hitter. Heap hit into a double play, but the runner at third did score. Ray Knight coming across for the Mets' second run at that point. Now Kevin Elster will get a chance at the plate, his first in World Series play. Elster, a right-handed batter. Lee Mazzilli is out. He will pinch hit for Roger McDowell if Elster's able to get on here. with Orozco warming up. Pitch to Elster, misses down low, ball one. A strike called in the inside corner. Elster turning back to the home plate umpire, believing that one to be inside. 0-1. The delivery, swung on and fouled back. Quickly, Clemens is up on the count here, 2 strikes. 2 down, nobody on, 3-2, Red Sox lead. Mets benefited by the error committed by Evans in the 5th inning when they scored their 2 runs. Allowed Knight to move up from second to third base, and he ultimately would score. Pitch misses down low. Well, the 2 errors in this game have hurt each club, helping the other team score a run. 9 hits for Boston and 4 for New York. Mets have all singles. The 1-2 delivery. That's outside with a breaking ball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Mazzilli loosened up his ready in the on-deck circle here. If Elster can get on. Kevin backing out. Roger Clemens into the windup and the 2-2 delivery. Swung on, foul back. Elster keeps it alive. The 2-2 count. New York Mets in postseason play, the struggles they've had at the plate coming into this ball game, had an average of 226. The opposition hitting at 241. That covers both the Houston games and this series. Popped up outside of first. Buckner moving over. He will not have a play. He goes up on the tarp over there, but the ball's way into the stands. No chance for him. New York Met pitchers have combined for an excellent earned run average in the postseason, 2.52 ERA. They've not had it quite that low against the Red Sox, but still 2.86. It's just when the runs have been scored that have made the difference, and the Red Sox have taken advantage of that to have that 3-2 edge. The 2-2 delivery, swung on, fouled off again. Elster fouling off Clemens' fastballs. And the count stays at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Outfield will play the right-handed batter Elster to hit behind Roger Clemens. Center fielder Henderson has moved over towards right. Pitch again, swung on, hit in the air. Right to Henderson. He'll move a couple more steps to right. Had it played perfectly, and that'll do it. Elster flies out. Mets are retired 1-2-3 at the end of 7. Boston 3 and New York 2. McDowell with Dave Henderson up delivers. Strike called as we go to the top of the 8th inning. Dave Henderson 0 for 3 is grounded out and flied out twice. In-game notes remind us, don't forget, you set your clocks back an hour tonight before you go Betty Bye. Here's the 0-1 delivery. That's down low. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Mets lose this game. They're not going to feel like Betty Bye for a long time.
I'd like to set the clock back a lot of hours if they lose. 1 ball, 1 strike. Rogers' delivery is chopped foul outside of third. 1-2. Bobby Ojeda threw 88 pitches in his outing here tonight. Just an excellent performance by him after they got the 2 runs in the first 2 innings. 1 in the first, 1 in the second. McDowell 1-2 to the leadoff batter. Right-hander winds and delivers. It is outside with a sinker. 2 balls and 2 strikes. McDowell stays in. This will be his final inning of work. Mazzilli was ready to pinch hit for him as Orozco has been up and throwing in the bullpen and is ready to go. 2-2 count. The delivery to Henderson is outside, just missing again, and the count is 3 balls and 2 strikes. He walked the leadoff batter in the 7th inning, Marty Barrett. That proved to be the go-ahead run in the game. McDowell will go to the back of the mound himself to think about it with a 3-2 count on Henderson. Henderson 8 for 21 with a home run against New York. McDowell ready. Here's the 3-2. Swung on, hit foul off the end of the bat outside of first. Crowd quieted by Clemens retiring the Mets 1-2-3 in the 7th inning. Clemens did not give up a hit until the 5th. He has walked only 2, both times Strawberry, and he has struck out 8. McDowell taking plenty of time on this 3-2 count with Henderson up. No breeze here tonight. Flag just barely fluttering in center. Pitch swung on and hit foul hard into the extra seats down the left field line. Line drive. He was out in front of it. Count remains at 3 balls and 2 strikes. This is Gene Yawkey on hand attending the ball game, hoping the Red Sox can win this one. One of the 3 Red Sox owners. 3 of them are never in one place together as that row continues. 3-2 delivery, swung on, hit foul again. Haywood Sullivan and Buddy LaRue are the others, and Buddy LaRue is the 1 vote. Haywood and Mrs. Yawkey are the 2 votes. Just about everything the Red Sox do, the vote's 2-1. Buddy LaRue stays away from the ballpark and the games. 3-2 count. Roger McDowell trying to get Henderson, who's fouling him off here. We'll try it again. The delivery swung on, and again it's fouled off, this time down the right field line. And Henderson doing a good job at the plate here on McDowell, fighting off his pitches. 3-2. Both bullpens are quiet right now. McDowell's 3-2 delivery, swung on, ground ball to short. Kevin Elster can't get it. Up and off his shoulder and out into center field. Ball was hit hard, but right at him. And Elster, the young shortstop, could not make the play. Let's pause right here for station identification.
Hi, this is Lee Arnold. You're listening to the World Series on Sports Radio 1050 WHN, New York's country music station.
Back here at Shea Stadium, Gary Thorne and Bob Murphy with you. As time's running out for the New York Mets. They are trailing 3-2, top of the 8th inning. And the leadoff man is on again against McDowell as Henderson reaches. Going to call that a base hit?
Apparently so. They're flashing the hit sign out of the auxiliary scoreboard. I'm a little surprised. I thought it would probably go as an error.
Ball was hit hard, but Elster had a play on it. It'll be the 10th hit of the ball game for the Boston Red Sox.
And if the run comes around to score, it becomes an earned run on Roger McDowell instead of unearned. But the bottom line is not to let him score as far as New York is concerned.
Spike Owen is 3 for 3, 3 singles. Throw to first to get him back. Owen now 6 hits and 16 times up, batting in the number 8 spot. Roger Clemens out on deck. No warm-up action for Boston. They have a 3-2 lead, and their best pitchers out there doing fine. Squared to bunt, dropped it, first base side, excellent bunt. McDowell picks it up, throws him out. Good sacrifice bunt.
They must be planning to hit for Roger Clemens. I don't think Spike Owen would have bunted if they didn't plan to hit for him.
He'll go back. Clemens will come out of the ball game with a runner on at second base and 1 down. And they will send the pinch hitter up to try and get that big other run in, as it is 3-2. John McNamara, realizing the chances have been few and far between, will go to the bench.
Mike Greenwell, young outfielder, left-hand batter, will come up. And we'll see Schiraldi the remainder of the way.
Mike Greenwell has had his chances at the plate as a pinch hitter. Greenwell has been up a couple of times and has not picked up a hit. Has drawn a walk in his 3 appearances as a pinch hitter. So Clemens will leave the game, having gone 7 innings, charged with 2 runs on only 4 hits, all singles. Walked 2 and struck out 8. Roger Clemens will watch the rest from the bench. And Mike Greenwell will pinch hit for him with a runner on at second and 1 down.
Boy, isn't it amazing how things go? These 2 teams make a trade. Ojeda winds up starting for New York in the big game, and now Schiraldi will relieve.
They deliver to Greenwell. Left-handed batter is a strike on the outside corner. Mike Greenwell, not happy with the call, will back out. Greenwell spending most of the season at Pawtucket, where he had an excellent year, AAA, coming on to play in just a very few games for Boston at the end of the year. But they are very impressed with his hitting ability. Swung on it, missed, ate him up. Hard inside biting pitch on him down in the dirt, and he's behind on the count now, 2 strikes. 1 down, a runner at second. 3-2, Boston leading in the 8th inning. Leadoff batter Wade Boggs is on deck. Mike Greenwell trying to get that runner in from second. It would be a huge run. Greenwell has one hit in 4 times up in the postseason. A delivery to him, swung on and missed, same pitch, ate him up again. Carter couldn't get it, tags him out as he picks it up. Good block by Gary and a tough pitch. So McDowell twice came in with that hard biter inside and low. Gets the strikeout, 2 down, and Wade Boggs up. Now picking up his first strikeout. Starting November 2nd at 9 p.m., Bob Costas joins WHN Sports Radio 1050 with his new radio sports talk show, Costas Coast to Coast. November 2nd, join Bob Costas on WHN 1050.
Boy, this is like being between jumping into the frying pan or the fire or whatever you want to talk about. Davey goes out now to talk to his pitcher, Roger McDowell. If they want to, they can walk Wade Boggs and bring up the right-hand batter, Marty Barrett. The only problem with that is that Barrett is red hot.
Marty Barrett has more hits than anybody else in postseason play. Not only this year, any year. Conference goes on as Davy Johnson's back in the dugout, but Elster will stay talking with Roger McDowell.
I'll tell you, as hot as Barrett has been, I've got to walk Boggs and take my chances with him.
See what they'll do here. Wade Boggs has picked up 2 hits in 4 times up, 2 singles, his first 2 times up. He scored the first run in the first inning. The World Series now, Boggs has picked up 7 hits, 7 for 26. They're going to pitch to him with 2 down and a runner at second. McDowell's delivery, outside, ball 1.
It should be said in all fairness that Roger McDowell, left-handed, right-handed, doesn't mean that much to him because he relies on that great sinker.
He may give him very little to hit here. First base is open. 1-0 count. McDowell to the belt. Here's the delivery. Came inside on him and missed. Ball 2, 2-0. 2-0 count. Marty Barrett waiting on deck. Red Sox trying to push across at least one more. Now they'll give him the intentional pass. First base available. Put runners at first and second. With 2 down and pitch to Barrett. Marty Barrett heads up. Ball 4 delivered. Boggs goes down to first. Barrett drove in a run in the second inning with an RBI single and singled again in the 5th. He walked and scored that go-ahead run in the 7th inning. So Barrett comes to the plate with 2 hits, 11 in the World Series now, batting at .400 for postseason play. Runners at first and second and 2 down. A right-handed batter with Lenny Dykstra moving over towards right field on him. Marty Barrett and Roger McDowell will do battle right here. 3-2 Red Sox lead, top of the 8th inning. The delivery to him is inside, ball 1. Marty Barrett hit .313 with runners in scoring position this season for Boston. He was their 3rd best behind Boggs and Rice. The highest batting average with runners in scoring position. 1-0 delivery, that's outside. McDowell falls behind 2-0, and he has Buckner waiting on deck.
If Buckner comes up, we'll probably see Jesse Orozco.
Orozco is warming up again in the bullpen for New York. Roger McDowell behind 2 balls and no strikes, 2 away. Sox have now out-hit New York 10-4 and lead 3-2. McDowell to the belt. The delivery, that's outside, missing by a lot, and it's 3 balls and no strikes. So McDowell in danger of loading the bases up here for Bill Buckner in the top half of the 8th inning. Jesse Orozco stops throwing to look in now. Here's the 3-0. He's taking all the way. Strike called, 3-1. For each pitch, McDowell going to the back of the mound, taking the glove off, rubbing up the baseball. 3 ball, 1 strike count with 2 down. Lead runner at second base, Dave Henderson. Wade Boggs on at first, 2 away. Henderson reached on the single, Boggs on the intentional pass. 3-1 pitch. Outside, the bases are loaded. Barrett draws the walk. Now there are 3 on, 2 down, and Davy Johnson starts out of the dugout looking to see whether he wants to make a double change here because the pitcher is scheduled to lead off in the bottom half of the inning for New York. Jesse Orozco is warmed up, and he will go to him. When he looked at that lineup card, he had second thoughts as he started out. Rethought the situation with the pitcher due up in the bottom of the inning, but decided now's the time with Buckner, a left-handed batter, coming to the plate. The base is full. It will be Jesse Orozco coming on for Roger McDowell. So with this pitching change, we'll pause for these messages. Jesse Orozco will come on in relief for the New York Mets. Orozco is going to be making his third appearance. He's pitched 3 1/3 innings, given up no runs on 2 hits. He has struck out 4 and has not walked a batter here in World Series play. Orozco will be facing Bill Buckner, a left-hander who is 0 for 4, with the bases loaded and 2 down, and the Red Sox leading by a score of 3-2. Orozco appeared in Game 4, coming on for an inning and a third, and was perfect on the night, striking out 1 in that one. Orozco appeared in Game 2, going 2 innings, giving up no runs on a couple of hits, and striking out 3. Jesse has been very, very good in postseason play.
The Red Sox have already set a record now for a 6-game series for men left on base. They had 49 left on coming into the game here tonight. They've already left 9 on, and they have 3 more on right now. The record for a 6-game series had been 55.
Mets have, you get the feeling right now, just hanging on by their fingernails here. They're still very much in it, obviously, but the Sox keep threatening to blow this thing open. Buckner with the bases loaded.
They didn't leave Jesse much room to work, I'll say that.
2 down, bases full. Top of the 8th inning, and the Red Sox leading by 1. Buckner coming up. Left-handed batter against left-handed pitcher. Big situation here in inning number 8. Orozco's ready to go. He delivered to Buckner, swung on, hit in the air to center. Lenny Dykstra underneath it. Makes the catch, and the inning is over. 1 pitch. And Orozco gets out of it. They'll leave the bases full. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Red Sox 3 and New York 2. Right-hander Cal Schiraldi, formerly with the New York Mets, is on in relief in a save situation for him. He has pitched in a game and has picked up a save, going an inning, walking 1, striking out 1, giving up no hits to New York. Lee Mazzilli will pinch hit as Jesse Orozco throws 1 pitch in relief, going a third of an inning, getting the out. The Red Sox have now stranded 12 base runners in this game. Mazzilli will bat left-handed against Cal Schiraldi with Dykstra and Backman to follow. Bottom of the 8th inning. The Red Sox are 6 outs away from a world championship. Schiraldi, the big right-hander, delivers. Mazzilli squared to bunt, takes it outside for a strike. Naz, not believing the call, turns around. Surprised that Buckner is still playing first base. They have not brought Stapleton in, which John McNamara usually does in this portion of the ball game for defensive purposes, but he leaves Billy Buck in, wanting to keep the bat in the lineup. Stapleton, not a good hitter. 1 strike count. The delivery, swung on, hit down the left field line near the stands, going over Rice. Will not have a play right in the first row, but Rice could not get there in time to go for it. Strike 2 on Mazzilli. Davey Johnson did not make the double change when he brought in Jesse Orozco, so Rick Aguilar is up and throwing, and the right-hander will be coming on in the 9th inning. Davey Johnson deciding to send Orozco in, not pull the outfielder. His change would have been Mazzilli going into left field probably for Mookie, but chose not to do that, so Orozco has to come out here as he was due to lead off, and Mazzilli's pinch hitting. Delivery to Maz up high, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
I guess he did not want a left-hander pitching to Rice and Evans in the 9th inning.
Lee Mazzilli. Delivery, swung on again, hit down the left field line, foul territory. Boggs over, will not have a play down the line, and the count remains at 1 ball and 2 strikes. No pinch hitter has gathered a hit in this World Series. Pinch hitters are 0 for 8 now. Lee Mazzilli in the postseason has had 1 hit and 7 times up as a pinch hitter. Kel Schiraldi, ready. 1-2 delivery, swung on, hit hard into right field, a base hit. There's the first pinch hit. Lee Mazzilli grounds one into right field, and the Mets have the tying run on. Maz with a pinch hit single, and that'll bring up Lenny Dykstra. So the Met fans come to their feet. The 5th hit. Kel Schiraldi gives it up. Gedman and Buckner will go out and talk with Schiraldi now as to what might be on right here. Lee Mazzilli wants to stretch it out a little. He's running down the right field line.
Maz may not be quite as fast as he was early on, but he still runs well, and he's a good base runner.
Going down there and jogging a little, have the Red Sox thinking a little more whether anything's on here or not. Kel Schiraldi now. With Dykstra up, Boggs will move in at third base. Buckner will hold the runner at first. Fans making lots of noise at Shea. To the belt. The delivery to Dykstra, squares, bunts it out in front. Schiraldi plays it, goes to second, not in time. The throw is in the dirt. Mazzilli is safe, and so is Dykstra. He was falling the wrong way, Bob, to really make a good play on that. He was falling towards first to try and cover for Buckner, and the ball was bunted towards third.
Yeah, he had to come back for the bunt. And I'm not sure had he made a perfect throw that he would have had him. It was going to be awfully close. Mets now in a beautiful position. Now if they can get a good bunt, they'll have the tying run on third and the lead run on second.
Now Wally Backman coming up. Everybody talking. Buddy Harrelson goes out to talk with Lee Mazzilli. It will be called a sacrifice.
And a fielder's choice, I guess.
And a fielder's choice with no error.
No error on the plate. That might be good scoring because it looked like a perfect throw. Might not have had it.
Sacrifice and a fielder's choice. Lenny Dykstra laying the bunt down, and a good idea. He had outguessed Kel Schiraldi. Schiraldi was coming over to cover the first base side because Buckner can't move. Now with Backman up, they're looking for the bunt again. This time, both first and third will move in. Wally will step out. Mazzilli at second base. Dykstra at first. Nobody out. 3-2 game, Red Sox lead. The delivery, squares again, drops at third base side. Schiraldi looks to third, goes to first, gets the out. Backman, the sacrifice, gets the job done. Runners at second and third, and one away, and Hernandez coming up. Schiraldi thought about it. He looked over to third base, but with Boggs having moved in, Wade could not get back there to cover third, and Schiraldi wisely decided to go to first.
Yeah, he was running full speed trying to get back, and he tried to throw, leading him with a throw. It could have wound up down the left field line.
Now we will conference at the mound again. John McNamara will come out and meet with his catcher in infield. With runners at second and third, and Keith Hernandez coming up. Keith has one single in 3 times to the plate. And 2 former teammates will go at one another right here. The People Express team of airlines, with their low prices, you can enjoy away games from the stands instead of your sofa.
We have Joe Sambito and Bob Stanley up in the Boston bullpen. But Schiraldi has been the man who has brought them into the playoffs and then the World Series. He'll pitch to Keith Hernandez.
So a confrontation in Game 6 of the World Series may be on the line right here. They're going to walk Hernandez, and Carter will come up with the bases loaded. Hernandez turns and gives the clinch fish to Gary Carter after taking the first ball. Schiraldi delivers ball 2. They're going to load the bases. It'll set up the potential double play, and Gary Carter will come up with the sacks loaded. Ball 3 delivered to Keith Hernandez. Fans start the chant of Gary. Schiraldi, ball 4. Hernandez again giving Carter the clenched fist as he walks down to first base, saying, "Come and get it, baby." Bases loaded, one down. Red Sox lead 3-2. Bottom of the 8th inning. Fans on their feet here at Shea. Gary Carter is 0 for 3. He has struck out, grounded out, and flied to center field. The kid who has made his hits count in this World Series play, as he did all season long, has 7 RBIs on 7 hits. Now with the bases loaded, game in the balance for this moment. Schiraldi will work out of the stretch. Mazzilli, the lead runner at third. The delivery to Carter, a fastball missing inside, ball 1.
This is by far and away the biggest World Series moment.
Mazzilli at third, Dykstra at second, Hernandez at first. To the belt, timeout taken, something down on the field behind home plate. And Schiraldi will step off. Outfield, of course, playing deep. The infield will play for 2 with 1 away. The ground ball could get the double play. The 1-0 delivery. Carter takes it inside, way inside. 2 balls and no strikes. Joe Sambito, the left-hander. Bob Stanley, the right-hander, watching now from the mounds in the bullpen as Rick Aguilera does the same for the New York Mets down the right field line. 2 balls, no strikes. Schiraldi to the belt. Here's the 2-0 delivery. Outside and low, ball 3. No place to put Gary Carter, and the count is 3-0. Darryl Strawberry waiting on deck. Marty Barrett, the second baseman, comes to the back of the mound to talk to Cal Schiraldi. John McNamara in the corner of the dugout, staring out. Again, Barrett coming over to again talk to Schiraldi. 3-0 count on Gary Carter. A walk will tie the ball game. The fans will tell you if it's ball 4. Schiraldi ready for the set position. Here's the 3-0 pitch. Swung on, hit in the air to left field. It'll be caught, runner tags. Here comes Mazzilli. Here comes a throw to the plate. Not in time. Throw to third. Nope, they don't throw. The game is tied at 3-3. Sacrifice fly for Gary Carter.
Beautiful gamble by Davy Johnson, the manager. Gave him the green light on 3-0. Just a little bit more, and that would have been in the bullpen. Hard line drive. Mazzilli, a good job of base running. Detected immediately. It might be caught. Got back to third. Got tagged up. Came home with a tying run.
Now with 2 down, Darryl Strawberry will try and put the Mets on top. Runners at first and third, and 2 away. Lenny Dykstra at third base. Keith Hernandez on at first. A good job by Dykstra, who tagged up and moved over to third base on the throw to the plate as Rice missed the cutoff man. The delivery swung on and fouled off, strike 1 behind home plate. Jim Rice heaved that ball from left field. Came in on the fly. Mazzilli was able to score standing up. Dykstra took off, and Gedman had no chance and held the ball, did not throw to third. All tied 3-3, 2 away. Bottom of the 8th inning. Schiraldi comes to the set position. The delivery swung on and foul tipped, and Strawberry's behind on the count, 2 strikes. Darryl, 0 for 1, has drawn 2 walks in the game. Schiraldi, the right-hander, coming right at him. Now the shortstop, Spike Owen, wants Gedman to come out. Keith Hernandez at first base, of course, not being held. Buckner way back, along with Marty Barrett. Conference concluded. Gedman comes back behind the plate. 2-strike count, 2 down. Dykstra with his lead at third. The set, the 0-2 delivery. Swung on and hit in the air to shallow right center. Plenty of time for Evans to come on. Henderson calls him off and makes the catch. Strawberry flies out, and the inning is over. The Mets get 1 run to tie it up. We go to the 9th, 3-3. Now this game, the exciting one. As we go to the 9th inning of this ball game, with the Mets just scratching and clawing Bob Murphy to hang in, but they've done that. 3-3.
Boy, they have just refused to lose this ball game. They were down 2-0. They did not have a base hit. In the 5th inning, they scored 2 runs and a couple of hits and a key stolen base by Strawberry. They got even. They fell behind again, and they have just scored to tie it in the 8th inning. Rick Aguilera on the pitch of the 9th inning. What an assignment for the young right-hander who was signed out of Brigham Young. He relieved in the game last Sunday here at Shea. It was not a good outing. Gave up 2 runs, 5 hits in one inning of work. But Aguilera does have good stuff. A 10-game winner during the regular season, a starting pitcher during the season. He'll be pitching to Jim Rice, Dwight Evans, and Rich Gedman. 9th inning with the game tied 3-3. A team had not come from behind in this World Series. Now the Mets have come from behind not once but twice. Jim Rice leading off. We're now in the 9th inning. The pitch on the way. Foul back, strike 1. In the bottom half of the 9th inning, the Mets will have Ray Knight, Mookie Wilson, and Kevin Elster due to bat.
Lee Mazzilli is in right, and Strawberry is out of the game.
So Strawberry has come out of the game. He made the last out. And the pitch on the way is a strike call to the outside corner. So Mazzilli is playing right field and batting 9th. Strawberry made the last out, so Aguilera will be hitting in Strawberry's spot. 2-strike count now on Jim Rice. In comes the pitch. 2 high, ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 9th inning, game tied 3-3. Let's have the infield spread out. Ray Knight playing the line at third. Right-hand hitter Jim Rice waiting. High and away, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Dwight Evans, the right fielder, on deck, and then the catcher, Rich Gedman. Mets have been out hit 10-5, but they have really fought. Twice they have come from behind to get even. Aguilera with a 2-2 count. Swing and a miss, struck him out. Aguilera with a high hard one fans Jim Rice. 1 away in the 9th inning.
Ironic how this game turns out. In a must-win situation, you got Kevin Elster playing short, Lee Mazzilli in right field. You've used up your 2 best in the bullpen. Bring on a starter most of the season, Rick Aguilera.
Dwight Evans, the batter. Evans had a long double in the 1st inning to drive in a run. And on the evening has 1 for 3, a walk, and 2 runs batted in. He grounded out, but it drove in a run in the 7th inning, and at the time, it put Boston up 3-2. 1 out, nobody on here in the 9th inning. Evans, a power hitter. Fastball, a strike call to the outside corner. Rick Aguilera, the 4th pitcher, used by Davy Johnson. Beautiful 6 innings of work by Bobby Ojeda on just 3 days rest. And the pitch on the way, look out. Inside and high, 1 ball and 1 strike. Both of the bullpens are very quiet at the moment. Moments ago, when the Mets were threatening, Joe Sambito and Bob Stanley were both up. Curve hit on the ground to shortstop. Charged by Elster, bobbled by Elster. That'll be an error, and the lead run is on base. The rookie shortstop, Kevin Elster, well, he's got butterflies. He's jittery out there. Not doing the job that Davey had hoped that would take place. They brought him up, put him on the roster, because they had to have a backup shortstop for Santana.
That's strictly tightness. That's a play he'll make 999 times out of 1,000, because he's a good defensive shortstop. But in this situation, he just pounded the glove once too often, and he froze on himself.
The Met pitchers have been betrayed by the infield defense so far here tonight. Gedman, the batter, breaking ball low, 1 ball and no strikes. The Red Sox catcher, Rich Gedman, 1 hit and 4 times up. He singled to left in the 7th inning. Jim Rice tried to score from second, and Mookie Wilson threw him out. Fouled back into the crowd, 1 ball and 1 strike. Yeah, Kevin Elster's as tight as he can be out there. There was another ground ball that he should have handled. They did not give him an error. They scored it a base hit, and it put Roger McDowell into a tough spot. You feel for the young man who was playing not AAA ball, but AA ball. He was at Jackson in the Texas League this summer. 1 out and 1 on, 9th inning. Base hit now would be very punishing. The pitch. Ground ball hit right at second baseman Backman. To Elster, 1, the first, double play. The inning is over. That's an error. Nobody left. Only the second time all night the Red Sox have not had a runner left on base. Now fasten your seatbelts. We go to the bottom of the ninth inning. The game tied 3-3. Last of the ninth inning. The game tied 3-3. Ray Knight will be leading off against Cal Schiraldi. The big stadium jam-packed with noise now as the noise level goes up toward the top. Now Schiraldi looking in to Gedman. Ray Knight is waiting. Breaking ball, low outside, ball one. Ray has 1 for 3 tonight. Got a big base hit in the fifth inning to drive in a run. It made it 2-1 Boston at the time. Later was to make a high throw that would allow a run to come in. Now to wind up the pitch. Too high, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Mets with their final turn at bat and a chance to win it in the final turn and take the series to 7 games. Twice they have come from behind here tonight. Both dugouts are on the move. Nobody can sit still. Infield and the outfield straight away and deep. Big hole on the left side of the infield. Ball 3. Schiraldi behind 3-0. Cal Schiraldi falling behind 3-0 on Ray Knight. When it went 3-0 on Gary Carter, Davey gave Carter a green light. He drove in the tying run. Now the pitch. Strike call, 3-1. Boy, that was just barely a strike. Almost too high. So Schiraldi has a 3-1 count on Ray Knight. Mookie Wilson on deck, and then Kevin Elster. Now Schiraldi is into his motion. Ball 4. The winning run is on first base.
Pinch run for him here, Bob.
Well, you certainly would be tempted.
You have Hojo, Tuffle, and Kevin Mitchell left on the bench, but you got all those pitchers who can run.
Billy Buckner calling time. He'll go to the mound now and see Cal Schiraldi. Mookie Wilson, a good bunter, is coming up. But behind Mookie in the batting order, you get to Kevin Elster, and then to Lee Mazzilli, who's batting ninth. Maz delivered a pinch hit. Maybe had him stay in the ball game. He's playing right field. Boy, the Red Sox are holding another camp meeting, and you can understand it. The entire infield collecting on the mound, and the plate umpire, Dale Ford, walking out saying that's enough. Now, if you were Davy Johnson, how would you play it? Would you have Mookie bunt, or would you have him swing away? Mookie, 1 hit and 3 times up. They're in close for the bunt. The pitch on the way, he squares, bunts foul, strike 1. And a 1-strike count on Mookie Wilson. Winning run on first base, that is Ray Knight. Ray drawing a walk, leading off, last of the ninth inning. Billy Buckner, the first baseman. Wade Boggs at third. Both are racing in toward the plate, hoping to get that bunt in time. They're going to play at second, and Ray Knight, who will be going over, is not a fast runner. Throw to first, not in time. Billy Buckner, like Keith, playing about a stride away from the bag. Trying to cheat a little bit in order to get closer to that bunt. Mookie is waiting. Now the pitch. Bunted on, fair ball out in front of the plate. Throw goes to second. Safe at second. Red Sox are arguing. Here comes John McNamara. It looked like the throw was there in time. Jim Evans of the American League is the second base umpire. They say Knight was safe at second.
Marty Barrett wants the first base umpire to be asked, arguing that he had the better position because the base runner came between the feet of Barrett, who was coming back down on the bag after taking the high throw, and the umpire, who was on the inside of second. McNamara wants him to ask the first base umpire, John Kibler, whether or not perhaps the bag was covered by the foot.
So McNamara, the Boston manager, and he is a real pro, having a big argument here with Jim Evans. From here, Gary, I must say I thought the throw was going to be in time to get Ray Knight. It was a high throw, but apparently Marty Barrett was able to keep his foot on the bag. The big argument, though, Marty Barrett, as Gary points out, wanted them to check with the first base umpire, contending that he had a better look. But it's also the second base umpire's call.
If the throw was high, they'll give an error to Gedman on that. He'd pulled him off the bag to the second base side. Barrett came down on the bag at the same time the base runner, Ray Knight, was diving in head first.
It pulled his foot off the bag. Now, whether it was after the play was over or not, I'm not sure. But Jim Evans, a real American League umpiring veteran, and he is safe. He is safe. That foot was pulled off the bag. The foot was pulled off the bag on a high throw by Rich Gedman. Now Howard Johnson is going to bat for Kevin Elster. We'll wait for the official scoring. So far, they have not made that decision. I believe it would be an error. It will be an error for a high throw. So Ray Knight safe at second on the error charge to Gedman.
Well, you figure that one out. Ray Knight commits the error that allows the third run to come in. Ray Knight's the base runner going into second base on the error that allows him to reach.
That's why I asked you, is this a great game or is this a great game? What a great game, this game of baseball. Howard Johnson is going to hit for Kevin Elster. Now the winning run is on second base. Nobody out in the bottom half of the ninth inning. If the Mets can get a base hit now, we'll have Game 7 here at Shea tomorrow night. Now remember, Ray Knight is the runner on second, and Ray does not have good speed. The right fielder, Dwight Evans, does have a very good arm, but he's playing deep. Now will Hojo be bunting? The pitch. He turns to bunt, bunts on it, and misses. Strike one. So they had Howard Johnson bat for Elster. They had him up there bunting. He did not get it. Lee Mazzilli on deck, and then Lynn Dykstra here in the bottom half of the ninth inning. Game tied 3-3.
Got to be careful of everything here because they might try and pick off Ray Knight. They're going to want to hold him close. Boggs is trying to get back to the bag at third. Schiraldi's going to come over towards third and try and field a bunt laid down that way with Buckner charging at first.
They'd love to get the lead runner at third. Hojo waiting. The pitch. He was set to swing away, and it was outside ball one. Davey had taken the bunt off. Howard Johnson was going to swing. The pitch by Schiraldi was wide. 1 ball and 1 strike. Ray Knight, the winning run, is on second. Mookie Wilson on first. And nobody out of the last of the ninth inning. Now Schiraldi looking in to Gedman, his catcher. Hojo cocks the bat. The pitch on the way. Swing and a ground ball foul. Handled on the coaching lines by Bill Robinson. And the count is 1-2 on Howard Johnson. So the bunt has been taken off. Davey Johnson wanting Howard Johnson to deliver the base hit. Last of the ninth inning. But that's a base hit away. It has to be a pretty good base hit. Now Schiraldi will check it out. Schiraldi has been striking out a lot of hitters. The big right-hander checks the runners. Here's the pitch on the way. Up high. He started to swing, foul tip, strike 3. He struck him out. They ruled it ticked the bat and was caught by Gedman, 1 man down. So Howard Johnson has been struck out, and that was a bad luck strikeout. He really had hard luck on that. He stopped his swing in time, but the ball ticked the bat and was caught by Gedman.
No argument. Hojo knew it. He hoped the home plate umpire didn't see it, but he did. Good call by Ford.
Now Lee Mazzilli is the batter, 1 man away. Mazzilli, as a pinch hitter in the 8th inning, singled to right field. Mazzilli later scored the run that tied the game at 3-3 in the last half of the 8th inning. He's the only pinch hitter in this World Series to get a base hit. He then stayed in the lineup. Mazzilli waiting. Inside, ball 1. Lynn Dykstra is the on-deck batter, and then Wally Backman. But the Mets have their opportunity right here to win it and send it to Game 7. Schiraldi from the stretch. The pitch on the way. Half swing. Did he hold in time? Yes. 2 balls and no strikes. Boy, he barely got the bat stopped. It was a high, hard one. He wanted it and then realized he had to stop. 2 balls, no strikes to Lee Mazzilli. And what a moment in the life of Lee Mazzilli. As taking his time, getting set in the batter's box. He will try not to help Schiraldi out. The pitch on the way. High fly ball, but it stays there down the right field line, and a foul ball. A foul ball deep in the right field corner. He did not miss that by very much. He hit it long. He hit it into the foul corner. And it's 2 balls and 1 strike to Lee Mazzilli. As wanting to get away from the pressure of the situation for a moment, and he may have broken his bat hitting that long foul ball. Oh, he's called back over for a word with Davy Johnson. As I believe does change the bat. So we're waiting on Lee Mazzilli to get back to the batter's box. That's with a chance to win it here in the bottom half of the ninth inning. A game that they trailed practically all night long. This crowd just ready to explode if the Mets can come up with one more base hit. The shortstop, Spiegel, and keeping Knight close to second base. That's a real key. Now the pitch. Fly ball hit the left field. Going back, Jim Rice on the warning track, and he makes the catch. Rice made the catch on the warning track in deep left field. 2 men down.
Cal Schiraldi's getting it done with Howard Johnson unable to move those base runners up. That strikeout really hurt. It required Mazzilli to have to come up with a hit.
That ball would have scored the winning run had the bunt been successful. But you can say about an awful lot of things in this game of baseball. 2 men down, and Lenny Dykstra, the hitter. Dykstra 0 for 3 tonight, looking for his first hit of the ball game. 2 men away now in the bottom half of the ninth inning. If Schiraldi turns the Mets away, we'll be going to the 10th inning. And the little man they call Nails, the battler, standing in now. Ray Knight on second. He's the winning run. Here's the pitch on the way, and a ground ball hit down to first, foul ball, no play. And a 1-strike count on Lynn Dykstra. Dykstra has had 7 base hits in the World Series, including a home run to lead off a game in Fenway Park off Oil Can Boyd. So Lenny Dykstra is the hitter. He is such a battler. Knight on second, Wilson on first, 2 men down. Schiraldi checking it out with Rich Gedman. Now the right-hander's pitch. Outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Spike Owen's job here is to keep Ray Knight close to second base. The outfield is straight away against Lenny Dykstra. He hits the ball from line to line. He gets a lot of base hits to left center field. And Schiraldi wants the signs delivered again by Rich Gedman. Knight leading away as much as he can. Schiraldi ready, the pitch. High, ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike, and he reached back on that. He threw that baseball as hard as he can throw it. And he is a very, very hard thrower. Calvin Schiraldi, the former Met, trying to stop the Mets from winning the game in the bottom half of the ninth inning. Dykstra measuring out his stroke. The stretch by Schiraldi. 2-1 delivery. Fouled upstairs, 2-2. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes to Lenny Dykstra. Ray Knight led off with a walk. Gedman made a high throw at second. The Mets had runners on first and second, nobody out. But nothing has gone right since that point. Now there are 2 men away, and it's 2-2 on Lynn Dykstra. Schiraldi will come to the stop position. Time call. Dykstra asked for time. Same thing happened to the Mets a couple of innings back. Schiraldi had his thoughts together. He was ready to deal to the plate. And Lenny Dykstra called for time at the last possible moment. Dykstra, the little left-hand batter, waiting. Now the stretch by Schiraldi, the pitch. Outside, ball 3. Throw to second, and he's safe. Knight just got back. Gedman threw to second. Marty Barrett came over to cover, and Knight was just barely safe.
Now that's Ray Knight trying to get as big a lead as he can so he can score on a single, and Gedman, knowing that, had Barrett sneak in behind him. Knight with a head-first dive just got back in a cloud of dust at second base.
Boy, his uniform is covered with dirt from top to bottom, and he was just barely safe. Count is 3-2 now on Lenny Dykstra. Red Sox put that play on, a design play. It almost got him out of it. Now Dykstra waiting on 3-2. And Schiraldi whirls the other way, but no throw is made. And they are really concentrating on keeping Knight close to second, so that in the event of a base hit, they might be able to throw Ray Knight out at home plate. Dykstra tightening up at Count is 3-2. The pitch on the way, and a high fly hit the left field. The inning should be over. Rice is standing under it. He has it, and we go to the 10th inning. And the Mets miss a beautiful opportunity to win the ball game. No runs, no hits. There was an error, and the Mets left 2. They've now had 7 left. At the end of 9 at Shea, 3-3. Game 6 of the World Series now goes into extra innings. Mets missed a beautiful opportunity to win the game in the bottom half of the 9th inning. They had runners on first and second and nobody out. Howard Johnson is now playing short for New York. Dave Henderson, the center fielder, batting 7th of the order, leads off the 10th inning. He'll be hitting against Rick Aguilera. Aguilera pitched the 9th inning. Dave Henderson has been a real hero in this World Series for the Red Sox, collecting his 9th hit of the series here tonight. He got that his last time up, 1 hit in 4 times at bat. Henderson, a big man physically, a right-hand batter, and he can hit a baseball hard. Aguilera winding. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Very quiet in the dugouts at the moment. Very restless there. Hard for people to sit still the way this game is going. By far and away the most intense game of the World Series. Now the wind-up, the pitch to Henderson. Well hit. Deep to left field. Way back going. Gone. A home run. A home run for Dave Henderson. The Red Sox are in front 4-3. The same Dave Henderson who hit a home run against the California Angels when the Red Sox were 1 strike from elimination.
He got all of it. That erupts on the Red Sox bench as they're all up and out to greet him, and Henderson writing a storybook finish to the final couple of months of his season after coming over from Seattle. He got all of that one off that auxiliary scoreboard down the left field line.
Dave Henderson will be such a hero in New England if Boston holds on to win. It has been written so many times how he got them to the World Series, and it was so true. Now Spike Owen is the batter, and a fastball strike call to the outside corner. Dave Henderson, his 2nd hit of the game. He now has 10 hits in the World Series. He had that huge home run that kept him going in the League Championship Series against California. Breaking ball outside, 1-1. That's the home run Gene Mock will have a lot of trouble learning to live with. He did not really get a chance to play until well into the League Championship Series when Tony Armas got hurt. Foul ball hit into the crowd down the left field line. He had a home run off Dwight Gooden in the game last Sunday here at Shea Stadium. So Dave Henderson, who along with Spike Owen came from Seattle late in the year, in a trade engineered by Lou Gorman, the general manager, and the Red Sox for the 3rd time tonight have the lead. Aguilera must keep them from scoring more. Foul ball back into the crowd. In the home half of the 10th inning, the Mets will have Wally Backman, Keith Hernandez, and Gary Carter coming to bat. Twice tonight, the Mets have rallied to get even. They have never had the lead in this ball game. Boston now has had the lead 3 different times. Aguilera with a count of 1-2 on the shortstop, Spike Owens. Cal Schiraldi, the pitcher, will be up next. And the big crowd at Shea suddenly awfully quiet. Boston now 3 outs away from a world championship. Aguilera has slowed it way down. Now Aguilera getting his sign from Gary Carter. Nobody on and nobody out. And the pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. 1 man down. 2nd strikeout for Aguilera. And now Schiraldi will be coming up. Schiraldi stands to be the winning pitcher in Game 6. If he can protect the lead in the bottom half of the 10th inning. So Cal Schiraldi will take the turn at bat. Big fellow is a right-hand batter. 1 out and nobody on. Pitch on the way by Aguilera will be over for a strike call. That, by the way, is the only home run of this exciting ball game. And by far and away the biggest home run in the World Series. Pitch on the way. Strike call to the outside corner. Aguilera with a 2-strike count on Calvin Schiraldi. Dave Henderson leading off here in the 10th inning, a home run to left field. 2-strike delivery, swing and a miss, struck him out. 3rd strikeout for Aguilera. 2 outs and nobody on. And we'll pause for station identification.
Hi, this is Dan Taylor, and you're listening to the World Series on Sports Radio 1050 WHN, New York's country music station.
Bob Murphy with Gary Thorne. We hope you've enjoyed our coverage on WHN. Following the World Series, it's not over yet. Wade Boggs, the hitter, takes wide, ball 1. Boggs in the game tonight has 2 hits and 4 times in bat, and has scored one of the 4 Red Sox runs. Aguilera side again. Foul ball hit down the left field line. 1 ball and 1 strike. At least, Gary, when the Mets come into bat, they'll have the right hitters coming up.
We've got Bagman, Hernandez, and Carter right in the middle, and they'll desperately need to try and get that leadoff man, Wally Bagman, on.
They missed a beautiful opportunity of winning the game in the 9th inning. Fouled out of play. Mets had runners on 1st and 2nd, nobody out. Probably the missed bunt attempt was the one that really hurt.
We say the little things that make the difference in this game. You learn how to do the basics, and they could not get the bunt down to move those runners up.
Aguilera with a count of 1 and 2 on Wade Boggs. That's playing him straight away. The pitch coming, and a drive hit toward the gap, left center on the run. On the run, Mookie can't get it. Over his head, going off the wall now, and Boggs is on second with a long double over the head of Boogie Wilson. Now Aguilera absolutely has to get the next batter out. He can ill afford to give up another base hit.
He had that one sail over his head. Mookie came in a little bit while going over to center, and then had to curl back on the baseball as the line drive. It's about 3 feet over his head. He got over in front of it, but not far enough back.
Ball was hit better than Mookie thought. When Boggs puts the bat on them, they are usually hit awfully well. Wade Boggs with his 3rd hit of the game. Now here's the leading hitter in the World Series, Marty Barrett. It's going to be hard for the Red Sox to decide between Barrett and Henderson, but I imagine they'll come up with Henderson if they win it. Pitch on the way is over a strike call. Marty Barrett with 2 for 3 and 2 walks tonight. He now has had 22 hits in postseason play, most ever. He owns the record all to himself. Should he come up with another hit right now, the Red Sox would have a 2-run lead in the 10th inning. Pitch by Aguilera, breaking ball outside low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Wade Boggs on second and 2 men down, top of the 10th inning. Unless the Mets rally in the last of the 10th inning, the World Series will be over. Willie Dykstra playing over to right center against Marty Barrett. He's had 2 hits, both have been to left field. Now Aguilera, a glance to second. Fastball high, 2 balls and 1 strike. Amazing the hush that has come over a big crowd at Shea Stadium. The home run by Dave Henderson, absolutely stunning this crowd. Mets have fought so hard in this ball game tonight. Down 2-0 to Clemens, they came back to tie it. Down 3-2, they came back again to tie it. High, ball 3. Aguilera behind Barrett, 3-1. Marty Barrett has already been on base 4 times tonight. Hitting behind Marty Barrett, you have the number 3 hitter, Billy Buckner. Buckner's had a tough 0 for 5 tonight. He's hit the ball hard and has absolutely nothing to show for it. Waiting on a 3-1 delivery. Strike call, a breaking ball. Boy, he threw a curve on 3-2 and he got it over. Now 3-2 on Marty Barrett. He has 11 hits in the World Series. He had 11 hits in the League Championship Series. A record total of 22. 3-2 delivery and a check swing base hit going through the middle. Rounding third, heading home. The throw by Dykstra coming in over the head of Carter. Backed up by Aguilera. The Red Sox have a 2-run lead. And Marty Barrett has his 23rd postseason hit. It actually looked like he was starting to hold on his swing. I'm not sure that he was, because the ball was hit hard through the middle.
Incredible postseason for Marty Barrett. Take nothing away from a spectacular regular season. He has just done everything the Red Sox could possibly ask out of a second baseman, defensively and certainly at the plate.
Now he's on second base in scoring position. He went to second. Dykstra threw the ball home, and in desperation, trying to get a lot on it, threw it way over the head of Gary Carter. Aguilera was where he should have been. He was behind Carter backing up and caught the ball. But Barrett was able to go to second. Another good hitter, Billy Buckner, at the plate. And it's now 5-3 Boston. The pitch on the way is up high, ball one. Red Sox 5 runs, 13 base hits. New York 3 runs on 5 hits. Keith Hernandez not giving up. Into the mound now to talk to Rick Aguilera. Very quiet in the New York Mets dugout. Mets have won 114 games. It will not be enough. If they lose here tonight, the Red Sox, for the first time in 67 years, will be champions of baseball. Aguilera with a 1-0 count on Billy Buckner. And a foul fly hit down the left field line, drifting back into the crowd. 1 ball and 1 strike to Buckner. Billy Buckner 0 for 5 here tonight. 4 hits in 28 times at bat in the World Series. The big hitters in the series for Boston have been Marty Barrett and Dave Henderson. They have been the hitting stars. It's going to be hard to choose between those two for the MVP. I can't believe it would be anybody else but one of those two.
No, they have earned it, not just here tonight, but throughout the series.
Aguilera struggling, a count of 1-1 on Billy Buckner. The left-hand hitter waiting, fouled out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Now 1-2, Aguilera will stroll behind the mound. Marty Barrett on base 5 times in this ball game. 3 hits and 2 walks. The only time they got him out, he had a line drive to Dykstra in center field in the very first inning of the ball game. You cannot be any hotter than Marty Barrett has been in postseason play. Aguilera with a 1-2 count delivers. Look out, he hit him with a pitch. Buckner hit on the hip with a pitch thrown by Aguilera, and now it brings Jim Rice to the plate with runners on first and second. Nothing going in the New York Mets bullpen. It's Aguilera's problem to solve. Well, he was ahead of the hitter, 1-2. He hit him right in the hip with a pitch.
Just lost that one. Buckner, who was not particularly crowd the plate, trying to come inside on him with a fastball, and it ran away from him. Buckner, all he could do is back on it.
Now Aguilera's problems are deeper than they were, with Jim Rice, the cleanup batter, standing in. Right-hand power hitter. The pitch on the way, and a foul ball out of play. That's back into the crowd behind the first base dugout. And a 1-strike count on Jim Rice. This old pro is 0 for 4 tonight. Reached on a walk in the opening inning. Marty Barrett is on second. Billy Buckner on first. 2 men down. There have been 2 down for quite a while. Off the outside corner, 1 ball and 1 strike. 2 runs in, Boston 5, New York 3, 10th inning. If the night seems a little late, remember you can turn your clock back 1 hour. It won't help how you feel about the ball game. Waiting on a 1-1 delivery, foul ball back toward the press level and out of play. Now 1-2 is the count. Mets will have 2, 3, and 4 in the batting order coming up if they can get to the bottom half of the 10th inning without further damage. The pitch. Line drive in the air to right field. Mazzilli galloping over, makes the catch, and the inning is finally over. The season may be over. Hard line drive brought by Mazzilli for the Red Sox. 2 runs. There were 3 hits and 2 men left on. They've left 14. Middle of the 10th inning, Boston 5, New York 3. 55,000 standing as Shea. Wally Backman leading off. Strike call to the outside corner. Crowd standing as Shea now, hoping to give the Mets a big send-off as they try and rally one more time. Twice they have come from behind in the game tonight. It would take a huge effort here in the bottom half of the 10th inning. Wally Backman leading off against Cal Schiraldi. Schiraldi's 3rd inning of relief work. Fouled back into the crowd at a 2-strike count. Schiraldi has worked the last 2 innings, allowing 1 run and only 1 base hit. Lee Mazzilli has the only hit off Cal Schiraldi. That was a pinch hit single in the 8th inning. That's just a big chance to win it all in the bottom half of the ninth inning. They had first and second and nobody out. Keith Hernandez on deck, and then Gary Carter. Now the pitch on the way, hit in the air, a fly ball to left field. Rice running toward the line is there and has it for the out. And the Red Sox are 2 outs away from the championship. Let's have to get a base runner to get that tying run to back. 1 out and nobody on. Hernandez, the hitter. Keith 1 for 3, a single in the 6th inning. If Hernandez could get on, it would bring Gary Carter to the plate. Asheraldi getting a sign from Getman. And the pitch on the way off the outside corner, strike 1 call. Keith Hernandez with 5 hits in the World Series. Mets have been badly out-hit in this ball game tonight, 13-5. They're trailing 5-3. Next delivery, outside high, 1 ball and 1 strike. Mets have had 7 left on base. The Red Sox have had 14 men left on. They've set a new World Series record for men left on base. 1-1 on Keith Hernandez. That's badly in need of a hit to set the stage. 1-1 delivery, outside high, 2-1 to Keith Hernandez. Gary Carter tied the game in the bottom half of the 8th inning, but he hit a sacrifice fly, a line drive to left. Mazzilli tagged up, scored the tying run. Waiting on a 2-1 delivery. The fly ball to center. Henderson going back, under it now. He has it, 2 men down. Hernandez hit it to the warning track, straight away in center field. Run down by Dave Henderson. 2 outs and nobody on. Marty Badd and Dave Henderson have been the big hitting stars for Boston. They are now 1 out away from a World Series championship. They have not had one in 67 years. The last time was 1918. Now Gary Carter carrying the final hopes. Pitcher is due up next. Kevin Mitchell is out on deck. And the pitch by Schiraldi. High pop foul. It might be playable. Gedman coming back. No play. Into the crowd. The game is still on. Red Sox now 1 out away from their World Series championship. Gary Carter without a hit in the game tonight. 0 for 3 and an RBI. The RBI, his 8th RBI of the series. He's had his share of RBIs. Pitch on the way. Look out. Up high. 1 ball and 1 strike. Kevin Mitchell is out on deck. He would bat for Rick Aguilera. Now Schiraldi will check it out. Infield to the outfield, very deep. Low and outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Everybody sitting very quietly in that New York Mets dugout, hoping against hope that something will start to happen. The 2-1 delivery, line drive, it'll be a base hit to left field. The tying run, Kevin Mitchell will come to bat. So Carter keeps it going with a single to left field. And Kevin Mitchell will be the pinch hitter. And Mitchell does have home run power. Nothing going in the Red Sox bullpen. That's only the second hit Schiraldi has allowed. Doug Sisk is up in the New York Mets bullpen.
Well, Strawberry, got to wonder, sitting over there, if the double change had been made, it might have been him coming to the plate right here.
Strawberry came out. Davey did not make a double change at that point in time. So the hopes now have shifted to Kevin Mitchell. This rookie from San Diego, California, had a superb rookie year. The stretch by Schiraldi, and the pitch on the way. Check swing, foul ball, strike 1. 5-3 Boston, bottom half of the 10th inning. 2 outs and 1 on. Red Sox won 96 games to win the American League Eastern Division title. Went to the 7th game before beating California. Here's the pitch. And a line drive base hit into center field. Now the tying runs are on base. Mitchell delivers a single to center, and Ray Knight will be coming up. So Gary Carter singles, Kevin Mitchell is single. Tying runs are on first and second, 2 down, and Ray Knight will be the hitter. Ray earlier in the game, after getting off to a good start, driving in a run with a single off Roger Clemens, made a high throw that allowed one of the Red Sox runs to score. Now in this game of redeeming features, Ray Knight stands in with his biggest chance of all. Bill Fisher, the pitching coach, has been dispatched to the mound by John McNamara. And they'll have a little strategy talk here about how they're going to go about pitching to Ray Knight.
They'll get the bullpen up and active. Nobody had been throwing, however, so there's nobody ready out there, and they wouldn't make a change here probably in any event with a right-handed batter up.
Ray Knight, 1 for 3 and a walk in the game tonight. Davey has pretty well used up his bench. He's had to do that playing catch-up ball all night long. Now Ray Knight is the batter. He's the winning run at bat. Tying runs are on base. The stretch by Schiraldi. The pitch on the way. Fastball, a strike call. They're going to play straight away against Ray and pretty deep in the outfield. And the third baseman, Boggs, is not really playing the line. He's more or less moving away from the line now to try and chop off a single. Schiraldi is ready. The pitch to Ray Knight. And a ground ball slowly hit foul. No, a foul ball down the third base line. Boggs at first started to come in for it, realized the best play was to let it roll foul, and he did. And now, my friends, the New York Mets are down to their final strike. 2-strike count on Ray Knight. The Red Sox were down to their final strike with their game with California, their series with California. They were behind 3-1 and down to the last strike in the 9th inning. Dave Henderson, the same Dave Henderson who homered in the 10th inning here tonight, hit a 2-run homer. And the Red Sox went on to win it and to win the American League Championship. Now the Mets are down to that final strike. Cal Schiraldi, who went to Boston on the Bobby Ojeda deal, trying to get the biggest win of his young Major League career by far and away. Now he blows on his pitching hat. Gary Carter on second, Kevin Mitchell on first. Mookie Wilson is the on-deck batter if Ray Knight can keep the ball game alive. Ray taking plenty of time. Now he's in the batter's box and ready. Here's the stretch by Schiraldi. Now the pitch on the way, and a soft line drive. It'll be a base hit into center field. Carter around third will score. Mitchell will go to third. A base hit by Ray Knight. The Mets now have the tying run on third. Ray Knight with the Mets down to their final strike gets a base hit to center field. It is now 5-4. Still 2 men down, and Mookie Wilson is coming up. Second RBI of the game for Ray Knight.
Well, Knight has come through in tough situations after making that fielding mistake. That's the veteran hanging in, and John McNamara is coming out, and he's seen enough of this.
I think he'll bring in the right-hander Bob Stanley. Mookie Wilson is going to be coming up. We will get a pitching change here in the bottom half of the 10th inning. It is now 5-4. Bob Stanley, a 10-year pro, real veteran out of that bullpen, is coming in. So with a break in the action, and the tying run 90 feet away on third, we pause for this message. Veteran relief right-hander Bob Stanley being brought on now by John McNamara. Stanley has pitched effectively in this World Series. He'll be pitching to Mookie Wilson. The Mets were down to their final strike. Ray Knight kept it going with a base hit. Bob Stanley in the World Series making his 4th appearance. He has not given up a run. Now the tying run is on third. That's Kevin Mitchell. The winning run, Ray Knight is on first. The hitter is Mookie Wilson. Mookie 1 hit in 4 times at bat. Boston 5, New York 4. First 2 batters up in the home 10th inning were retired. 3 hits in a row. Gary Carter, a single to left. Kevin Mitchell, a single to left. Ray Knight with a 2-strike count, a single into center field, scoring Gary Carter. Now 1 more hit, and the Mets, for the 3rd time tonight, would have come from behind and tied this ball game.
Mookie Wilson had a single against Bob Stanley in his last relief appearance in Game 3.
Now the stretch by Stanley with a pitch. Fouled upstairs, strike one. Mets have one run in. The tying run is on third, Kevin Mitchell. The winning run, Ray Knight, is on first. But they have so little working room. Stanley is ready at the pitch. Outside high. One ball and one strike to Mookie Wilson. Howard Johnson is the on-deck batter. That's so badly needing one more base hit. Stanley ready to pitch. Up high. 2 balls and 1 strike to Mookie Wilson. Howard Johnson loosening up in the on-deck circle. Bottom half of the 10th inning. Red Sox 1 out away from a World Championship. Stanley in the set position, the pitch. Foul ball skidding off the bat handle. And again, the Mets are down to their last strike. Count 2-2 on Mookie Wilson. Kevin Mitchell at third base. Ray Knight on first. 3 hits in a row. 1 run in. They need 1 more. Now the pitch. Swing, and he fouled him. It looked like he had been struck out. He just barely ticked the ball. And Mookie stays there with a count of 2 balls and 2 strikes. A very memorable 6th World Series game. Stanley working very quickly. The pitch. Fouled out of play behind third. Stanley really anxious to get it over with. He's getting the ball back and almost quick pitching. So Mookie will step out on him to slow him down a little bit. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Let's have only 1 strike left. Stanley is ready. The pitch. Gets away! Gets away! Here comes Mitchell! Here comes Mitchell! Tie game! Tie game!
Unbelievable. A wild pitch.
The game is tied 5-5. Mitchell comes in to score. Knight, the winning run, is on second. Either a wild pitch or a pass ball. We'll wait for the official scoring. But it's a tie ball game, Gary.
Pitch came low and inside. Gedman did get a glove on it. Slowed it down, but it went all the way to the backstop.
Now Wilson with a chance to win it. 3-2 delivery. Popped the ball up, foul, probably out of play. Gedman coming over. It'll be in the crowd, a foul ball. The winning run is on second base for the 3rd time tonight. The 3rd time in this ball game, the Mets have come from behind. It was scored a wild pitch by Bob Stanley, allowing Mitchell to score. And it's 5-5. The winning run is on second. Mets are down to their final strike. 3-2 on Mookie Wilson. The pitch. Hit down the left field line, foul. Foul ball off the bat of Mookie. Had that been fair, the Cinderella story would have been all over, and the Mets would have been the happiest guys in the world.
2 pitches, twice. The Mets have had just 1 strike left in this game.
As mentioned, the Red Sox were in that position against California. The Mets in that position here tonight, and they have dodged a huge message. They've tied it up. The worst that could happen is to go to the 11th inning. Mookie Wilson still hoping to win it for New York. 3-2 the count. And the pitch by Stanley. And a ground ball trickling. It is a fair ball. Gets by Buckner. Rounding third Knight. The Mets will win the ball game. The Mets win. They win.
Unbelievable. The Red Sox in stunned disbelief.
A slow ground ball went right through the legs of Buckner. Down the right field line. The Mets have won the ball game. 3 runs in the bottom half of the 10th inning. 3 runs in the 10th inning. They were down to their final strike twice. In the bottom half of the 10th inning, they win the ball game. I thought the ground ball was going to be foul. It stayed fair. It went right through the legs of Billy Buckner and down the right field line.
Bob, what is Billy Buckner doing in the game in the bottom of the 10th inning?
With a 3-run lead.
Do not understand it.
We talked about that earlier, saying they usually put Dave Stapleton in the play defense. This crowd and not a soul had left. They're all here. They can't believe what they've just seen. Mets were down and out. It was all over. Somehow, they managed to get 3 runs, or they win it. It'll be a very costly error. But nonetheless, the Mets are delighted that it came about that way. A slow ground ball hit by Mookie Wilson. went through the wickets on Billy Buckner. Ray Knight at first didn't realize it when he rounded third. Buddy Harrelson said, keep it going, keep it going. And he came racing and in to score, and the Mets have won what must be the most amazing game in their 25-year history. I can't imagine a more remarkable victory. It'll be an error charged to Billy Buckner. It was an amazing play. Buckner came over. It was a very slow ground ball. I thought it was going to be foul. Maybe he thought so. He had the glove down. It went right under the glove. Rolled very slowly down the right field line. Fair ball. And around to score the winning run came Ray Knight. That'll be an error charged on Billy Buckner. In the 10th inning, 3 runs. 3 hits. The biggest error in the World Series. And a man left on. We'll be back with the happiest recap of them all in just a moment. The final in 10 innings, New York 6 and Boston 5.
Your World Series station, Sports Radio 1050 WHN.
You know, Casey Stengel used to call the Mets amazers. Well, here's something that's truly amazing. It's an incredible piece of technology that takes your message and carries it for miles. No, it's not Darryl Strawberry's bat. It's a pager from Metro Media Paging Services, the one more people depend on. Why? Because paging is more than just the right equipment. Paging is service. And that's what Metro Media is famous for, like round-the-clock hotline maintenance and customer care service. Not only that, but you can get the message anywhere in the tri-state area, so wherever you travel, you're covered with paging equipment from NEC, one of the most respected names in the business. So no matter what field you're in, you'll find Metro Media helps you cover it better. And now you can do it for less. With 30 days of free paging when you sign up for 90 days or more. Call 1-800-225-1989. That's 1-800-225-1989. Metro Media Paging Services. More people get the message from Metro Media.
When fixing up your household seems just too much for you, with a little help from Channel, it's not so hard to do. Make it easy on yourself. Come to Channel. Make it easy on yourself.
I wanted my bathroom to look great, so when it came to modernizing it, I was pretty choosy about what I buy. That's why I went to Channel Home Centers. At Channel, I always find things that suit my taste, like General Marble Vanity Flare vanities. They're not only elegant, they're functional too. And right now, there's even a manufacturer's rebate of up to $25. My new vanity looks great. So great, in fact, I believe I've got something to be happy about.
For any kind of project, any place throughout your home, you've got Channel as your partner. You're not in it all alone. Make it easy on yourself. Come to Channel. Make it easy. Come to Channel.
Well, until now, I thought the 16-inning game in Houston was the most remarkable baseball game I had ever seen with the New York Mets. Maybe it still is, but how about this one? The Mets come to bat in the bottom half of the 10th inning, Gary Thorne. 2 outs and nobody on, and then it all began.
Well, one thing, Bob, it'll be the most remarkable game for the Boston Red Sox, maybe in their history, depending on what happens tomorrow night. But right now, I guarantee you, in the Red Sox clubhouse, there is not one word being spoken. They were standing and cheering after the 2 runs came in the top half of the 10th inning. They were ready to do it all, and they lost the game. Now, the New York Mets made the battle of it with the singles by Gary Carter with 2 down. Mitchell coming up as a pinch hitter, getting a single. Ray Knight delivering a single. Twice they had only 1 strike left. Mookie Wilson hitting the ground ball, a wild pitch, and the error on the ground ball, allowing the runs to come in. And the Red Sox just blew this ball game.
If they don't win this World Series, of all of the tough losses they've taken over a lot of years, this, I'm sure, will be the hardest pill of all of them for them to swallow.
You can't swallow it. You will not be able to swallow this loss ever unless you come back and win tomorrow night for the Boston Red Sox. And for the New York Mets, it just turns the guns on. They have done the impossible here, coming away with the runs in the 10th inning. So the New York Mets are going to send it into Game 7, incredibly so. A wild pitch and an error in the 10th inning. We'll have all the details and highlights of it coming up, but a lot of the crowd, I mean a lot of them, still standing here, jumping up and down, as were the New York Mets. Ray Knight almost didn't score on that error. Ray going into third base had slowed down going to the bag. He was watching the ball, and only when he saw it go between the legs of Buckner did he come on. We will check. I want to be fair to John McNamara as a broadcaster. Unless something is wrong with Stapleton, there is no explicable reason why Bill Buckner is playing defense in the bottom half of the 10th inning with a 2-run lead when he can hardly move. But we will check and see whether Stapleton was available. But Bob,
but I'll tell you one thing. The fact that he isn't able to move very well had nothing at all to do with the error that he made.
No.
He had the easiest play in the world. He moved over. He was right in front of it the way they teach you to do. He had the glove down, but not far enough down, and it went right under the glove. And it was rolling so slow. It was rolling so slow it actually helped the Mets out.
Yes, it did, and probably made the play tougher for Buckner. Those kinds of balls are generally more difficult to deal with. They have some spin on them, and as a result, when it went through, there was absolutely nothing he could do at that point. Once the ball had gone by him, there was no way to recover, and the Boston Red Sox, in disbelief, believing this thing was all but wrapped up, have seen it go down the tubes, and now it will be Game 7.
Talk about the change of reaction. The Mets ball club sitting over there with the longest faces you've ever seen in your life. Their World Series was over. They were gone. They were beaten. And all of a sudden, it happens, and they just explode. The faces suddenly go from long and drawn to the happiest faces you've ever seen.
Imagine Rick Aguilera, who has just picked up a win in Game 6 of the World Series.
He went from a loss to a win in a short period of time.
He had the goat horns on and everything else. You take them off and throw them away, Aggie. You just get yourself another prime piece of fur for that one because you sent this thing into 7. So, Bob, it's Sox picking up 13 hits to the New York Mets 8 in the ball game. And the big error committed by the Boston Red Sox with the New York Mets 2 down, coming on with 3 singles, a wild pitch that would score 1 run. That would be Mitchell, and then the error allowing the final run to score. And it would be Ray Knight. Knight would come back after committing an error that gave Boston a 3-2 lead to drive in 2 runs and score 2 runs himself, including the game-winning run. So our final, Game 6, New York wins it in 10, 6-5.